Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everybody. It's an exciting time of year. We got Thanksgiving tomorrow. So hopefully everybody's going to get together with some family and eat some good food. And then that also brings in the biggest, cyber online retail shopping sales of the year. So that's going to be the focus of the show tonight. Going to bring in Brian here in a moment when he's ready. But that's going to be the focus of the show tonight. So we'll what's going on, Brian?
Hey, how's it going, man? Happy Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Thanksgiving Eve.
I know, right? I'm excited. I'm happy to be home and not traveling.
Yeah, I actually do. So I got to make a turkey in the morning. Smoke the turkey's brining. Smoke the turkey. Yeah, I always brine it. That's the way to go. If you're not deep frying your turkey or brining your turkey, you're probably doing it wrong. You're not having good turkey.
So I've never smoked a turkey, but explain. So you got to brine it ahead of time to smoke it so it doesn't dry out, so it stays moist. Or like, what's
Well, you can brine it even if you're going to do it in the oven, but brining just ensures more juiciness.
Okay,
I think. So we'll probably talk a little bit of Thanksgiving, a little bit of turkey. Talk about all the deals. Just whatever we want to talk about tonight. Hang out. Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
You got your rum, and Coke?
I do. Got the rum and the Diet Dr. Pepper tonight.
Dr. Pepper. So I went with your order, but it's whiskey and Coke Zero because that's what I had in the fridge. So adjacent to what you're drinking.
I'm not a big spatchcock guy. I have not. It's a little extra. I don't know. Spatchcock just means you butterfly it and lay it out flat.
That's like a chef thing. Is it like a French style or something?
You just don't want to deal with like clearing a space on the counter and flopping a big turkey up there and then making a mess and cleaning it up. So,
I think people just like saying the word spatchcock.
It is a fun word.
It's a very fun.
It's like a monocoque reel from Daiwa, right? It's just fun to say.
You mean wait? You mean one of these?
Yeah, I still haven't got one of those.
So I've tried the cheap monocoque reels like the ballistics and stuff, and then I have the expensive monocoque reels like the Exist and the Surte. These are 100 times better. I don't really like the cheaper ones. They tend to have not great tolerances and they get very like loose and wiggly after you beat on them for a little bit. So my point is, I don't know. I don't like the ballistic and some of these other like the new Tatula. I'm not super thrilled about them.
Not the Procyon.
I bought and gave away a Procyon, but I haven't actually used one, so I can't say the Procyon. But my point is, I love the expensive monocoques. They're nice. The cheaper ones I haven't blown my hair back.
Shout out to Chris, member 22 months. So, full disclosure, we were going to do a bunch of giveaways tonight. The blind unboxing. This is the only box that arrived today. We put our orders in before lunch on Monday,
right?
Which typically would get you your box by yesterday.
24 hours, yeah.
Omnia didn't do nothing wrong because they literally shipped them within an hour. And USPS is already feeling the grind, evidently, because this one showed up via FedEx and the other three didn't show up at our houses. So the blind tackle opening will be a future episode. It'll be more like a halfway between Thanksgiving and Christmas, probably. So it will happen. It's just not happening tonight. But we will talk bass fishing, tackle, deals, and all that stuff tonight. But there's not going to be. I might give away something. I don't know. I got some stuff. I actually do have a bunch of tackle to open here.
How many?
So there will be some unboxings, unbaggings, but not the big special ones.
Question: how many years have we've done this unboxing multiple years now? Would this be our third year or fourth year? I'm trying to remember.
I feel like we've done it. I think when we do it, this will be 4 times. We did a tax day one, and then we've done 2 like Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas ones.
Right. Yeah, so we're gonna keep it going. I think we should do it in between now and Christmas, so we can make it like a lead into Christmas. I think would be a good idea. Sometime in December, we'll figure it out. So yeah, we're gonna do a sick, tons of tackle, give away a bunch of cool stuff, but not tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We wanted to.
Marty,
we planned on it.
There might be some Burns balsa tonight.
Oh, you got some goodies.
So, yeah.
I've been ordering some stuff. I got a couple new things that I could show off too. So yeah, we can talk about some new stuff. Yeah, we got how many people? We got about 50 people in.
So it looks like it's about 50 on my channel, and between Facebook and your channel, it's another 40. Looks
Sweet.
like we're creeping on 100 total here pretty soon.
Yeah, people are gonna swoop in and be like, "Oh, they're not giving stuff away," and then go find a better stream. Hopefully not. Stick around.
I don't think there's that many people streaming tonight, honestly. So,
yeah,
okay, we got a.
We're all you got.
Romance.
Oh, thank you, Zach. I have no idea who Zach Zabronsky is, but I appreciate the love. Yes, still worth it. Hit, caress, whatever is you. I always smash the like.
Gently caress, bump it, tap it. I don't think I got enough balsa to give away yet, Marty. But I do have some balsa to open tonight.
Yeah, cheers, everyone. Crack a drink. We'll hang out for a little bit.
Let's see. I got a couple questions in here. Let's see here.
You guys got any good questions? Hit us up. We're just kind of
HELLABASS Fishing says, in 3 years, will MPFL buy MLF? I don't think that's the scenario. I think within the next couple of years, we could see some merging or consolidation, but I don't think it's going to happen that way. MPFL has been barely getting by the last couple of years from what it seems like. They've had to cancel I mean, I don't think they're rolling in it by any means. So things would really have to go well for them, and things would have to really go bad for MLF for that to happen. But I do think at some level there will be some condensing of the leagues.
Somebody said Hella's B-Day. Is it your birthday? It's not your birthday, is it?
No.
Okay.
Somebody thought it was my birthday. My birthday's Sunday.
Oh, so it's coming up. It's this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, well, happy early birthday.
And if people have things they want to mention in the chat, I'll star them as far as deals. I'll try to
okay, so on the who's going to buy who front, I would be shocked if NPFL could afford MLF. Like that is an acquisition that would be very surprising to me. I also would be very surprised if Bass could pony up the money to buy MLF, because I don't think Bass doesn't. If you look at the company that owns Bass, what's their biggest non-Bass it's Whataburger, right? I think isn't it Whataburger? One of the burger chains is under the umbrella.
I don't know.
Of the company that it's like Anderson Media or something like that. But yeah, if you look up the company that owns Bass, they're a print media company. Like they print advertising and like end caps and that kind of stuff. And I don't know, man. I mean, I know I know to do M&A, you can get banks to bankroll your acquisitions. You don't necessarily have to have the money in the bank to buy a company like MLF, but that's a fairly sizable purchase for either Bass or NPFL. The thing is, if anyone's going to buy anyone, I think the only people who have the deep pockets is MLF. They're billionaires behind that. So,
but I think they may. But I think I could see a scenario where the people that have the backing behind MLF decide to divest MLF and no longer want that as part of their portfolio. Yeah. And then in that respect, MLF itself is not. Although I would say that if you look at the assets and the number of employees and the number the size of the leagues, MLF probably is the biggest organization from an assets standpoint. So they would probably be the most expensive because they run the BFLs and the Toyotas and all the different levels. And so,
yeah, I know MLF's. And the other thing too is technology is always a big thing, because it's what are you buying when you get these companies? Are you buying their broadcast technology and there's tech under the hood. That's
and then if you're talking brand is important. Bass is more expensive from a brand standpoint. So I don't know. I think if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be more of a PGA Live thing. It's gonna be true of a more merger type thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think it has to happen, because I mean, obviously you're seeing downsizing everywhere and the pie is not as big as everyone. What's interesting is, do you watch the Zaldane podcast, Trait and Chris's?
Sometimes. Yep. I've seen some of them.
A couple of things make my ears perk up when I hear Trait talk sometimes, because she says things she is completely convinced Bass has hit their ceiling. Like basically they're not growing in any of the markets that they're going to. Like I don't know, this is like a side tangent, but like she made some really interesting comments in one of their podcasts, like a couple podcasts ago, where she was basically like, Bass keeps going to the same markets, nothing grows. So they're just basically selling the same stuff to the same groups of people in the same states over and over and over, because that's where they make their nut, right? Like the same cities, the same, like they don't branch out. So they basically have hit a financial ceiling of like how much money and viewership they can gain. And then so she's like, you know, they've hit their ceiling. So like where's the growth? The growth either has to be going outside of, you know, the southeast of this country, right? Or they have to find other ways to like find new markets. But like they basically are just wringing out money out of the same markets because that's where they get paid and where they find cities that are totally like on board with their product, right? So my point is growth through acquisitions, because like when companies can't grow, they buy other companies. You know what I mean? Just in business in general, right? So like one of the ways to grow your company is M&A. So if Bass has hit a ceiling, maybe the only way for them to grow bigger is to buy a MLF. Do you know what I mean? And like smash everything together and get their Toyota, and get the BFL.
It's pretty easy. The formula is all we need is Taylor Swift to date somebody in pro fishing, and that will grow the sport.
Oh my God. That would. Here's a question for the crowd. Let's ask the audience. Who is the bachelor? Who's a single bachelor on either of the pro tours that would be a good like fit for a Taylor Swift dating scenario?
Now he's not single, but he's not married.
Well, they got to be single.
Okay, so I mean, like this person has a semi-serious girlfriend, but they're not married, they're not engaged. But like Maddie Wong would be my pick.
Oh, Maddie Wong. He's a good-looking guy. He's young. He's got that whole Hawaiian surfer
West
style.
Coast vibes. Yeah.
He's in good shape. That's a good one. I like that. That's like, okay.
I don't think Matt is quite gonna pull the Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, Matt would ruin Taylor Swift. Like,
and Milliken is married, so that's not. We're not going to start those kind of rumors.
And his wife seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. See, we're tackling the topic.
This was another good one. Luke Palmer from Oklahoma.
Ooh, I don't know him.
He's been on the show before.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to picture what he looks like. I'm gonna have to Google it.
I think most females would say he's pretty attractive. I think.
All right. Who else? Like, Austin Felix. Wait, he's got a girlfriend, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
The sleepy assassin
date. Is Taylor is Swifty also a Potter fan? Because that would be a deal breaker for Austin, probably.
That's something they could bond over.
I think we're losing some people. Oh, your son signed on. So let's go.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's answer a few fishing questions here. This is a good one. So Omnia has done these things. These like people really believe Seth owns Omnia.
That is really good. I
actually had an argument in somebody in my YouTube comments. We were talking about how no pros can make it unless they come from money. And I was like, well, I know Seth didn't come from money. G-Man, like, and he's like, what do you mean? Seth owns Omnia. I'm like, Seth does not own Omnia. That's just like a marketing kind of fun spoofy thing. He's definitely has a partnership with Omnia. He was definitely involved from the start from a marketing standpoint. I'm sure he gives feedback through Pete and others on tackle and stuff to carry. And obviously a lot of the brands that align with Seth, they align with Omnia for strategic reasons. But no, I mean, I suppose there's somewhere where you could have a tiny sliver of equity, but I'm not sure that even exists. But he's definitely not. He's definitely not the majority owner by any means.
So that would be what you just said is very interesting, because I haven't thought about that until now, because Omnia could absolutely give Seth like shares, theoretically, like shares in the company, because Omnia is like, if anyone out there watching this is into like the startup world, Omnia has investors. They're VC backed. They do investing rounds. So Omnia isn't like a lot of people own pieces of Omnia, put it that way. So like they could potentially have worked out a deal with Seth where like he gets shares. And then when they maybe sell or get acquired by, because like a lot of stuff happens behind the scenes in the fishing industry where brands get bought and sold into bigger umbrellas. Omnia could absolutely have an exit strategy of a sale, and then Seth could make some ching ching on that if they end up happening. He seems so. The thing about Seth is he seems pretty like business savvy. I would not be surprised if he has some kind of deal like that.
I know Milliken has a lot of equity in some of the brands he works with. Not necessarily a lot, but that's part of like his negotiation strategy for some of the.
But no, yeah,
Seth doesn't own it. You should always go fishing when you have the chance, regardless of what's on YouTube. But
I agree. But no, that's a good topic of Seth's involvement with Omnia. Obviously, so you and I are affiliates with Omnia, meaning we only get something from Omnia if we produce some value and like drive sales. Whereas Seth and some of the like Patrick Walters, those guys are not affiliates. They're actually like sponsored anglers where they don't have codes and they're trying to like generate income. They basically get used as like billboards for Omnia. So their relationship is completely different than like you and I.
Yeah. So we are going to do a giveaway tonight. So Dave Sindrich from DC Baits did say that he would give away 2 of his 6.5-inch weedless shads. I believe these go for $30 a piece. So I'll probably do 2 separate giveaways, one each.
So
we'll do that later. So there will be a giveaway.
Is that Dream Smasher or a different company?
No, this is the DC Swim Baits.
DC Swim Baits. Okay.
Not Dream Smasher.
Because that big boot tail like reminds me of the Dream Smasher baits.
There are some parallels, and where the roots of those baits came from, there are some. Well, they're like third cousins.
I apologize to DC Baits for mixing them up. my bad. So one
time, DC and Dream Smasher did have they were working on baits together, but they both came. They kind of went in their own unique ways. So, see, Kevin in the house from K&K Customs. Kevin, I didn't get a chance to look. If you're running a sale or anything, drop it in the chat for this weekend for Cyber Week. Uncle Ron's here. Let's see here.
Whoa, dude! Our YouTube viewers doubled. So we had 50 something, and now we're over 100. So hey, everybody.
This is true. The average bass fisherman in tournaments would do better at the casino. Yeah, and then your expenses are a lot less going to the casino.
You get free drinks at the casino at least.
Let's see here.
By the way, I still love on your billboard on this stream that you still have the suck less down in the corner. That is that tickles me every time. Like that's such a good tagline. Suck less.
I see a question from C. Smith looking for some Dobbins, and I see Chris asking for a Caden 175. I am not aware that Omnia is doing any rod or Dobbins deals. No. I don't know what the next 4 days are in the sale. I don't believe the rods. So, but they are running the gift card deal, right? So that is
$50. It's you get
a $60 gift card for $50. So that's basically 17.5% savings. So, I think 10 divided by 60.
I was talking to a guy. So a guy came up to me a couple months ago here in Minnesota, and he was talking to me about Omnia, and so people do take advantage of this like free money gift cards. Like he says he buys like a couple $100 worth of these things and then just sits on them waiting for another deal to like stack the gift cards on somewhere later down the line. So if you have the bankroll to go scoop up free money on gift cards, it's a good time to do it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. If you know you're going to buy a rod, so you're going to get 17% savings on this, right? Essentially. And then you could stack it with one of our codes in the future and basically be pushing 30% off on a purchase, or you wait for another sale and stack it on and use your cards for that. So
plus if you do that down the line and you're a member, you get the kickback. So you can like stack. You can have like the free money on the gift cards, a promo, kickback, and you can get like
if you bought, let's see, 3 of these, right? $150. You could get a Caden and still have money left over, plus you get points back. So I don't know. I think somebody said Land Big Fish might have some deals on some. Yeah. I haven't searched everybody's sales on everything, but that's one way to get a good deal on a Dobbins and just about anything.
Tackle Warehouse, Land Big Fish, and maybe ALF might have some Dobbins. Like it's just a general 20% off on Dobbins at the moment too. So yeah, if you need to buy one like now today, there are, I would hit ALF, I would hit Land Big Fish.
If you want to get it from Omnia and use your points and get points, then I would say just grab a couple gift cards.
And then just wait. So Omnia is interesting because they do the pre-Black Friday sale. So they already did their 20% off a couple weeks ago, which actually is kind of a good idea because you get ahead of everybody else's sales and you get those trigger happy anglers who want to buy stuff now. And then also it lowers the crunch on your warehouse around when people want to take off time to Thanksgiving with their families. So, but yeah, there's definitely ways to get some deals out there.
I just dropped the link in the chat for the Omnia current deals if anybody wants to look at the gift card deals and what they got coming up here. Let's see here.
So
Gator's Adventure says he got a heck of a deal on some Gruden's Gore-Tex bids for 150 regular 380. I don't know if you got those from Gruden's or if you got them from somewhere else.
Where'd you get that deal? So I will say, if you get a deal on Gore-Tex and you can jump on it, whether it's Gruden's, Sims, there's a lot of brands that have Gore-Tex. If you can get a good deal on Gore-Tex, no matter the brand, just freaking jump on it. Because I bought a Gore-Tex suit. I spent a bunch of money on a Gore-Tex suit 6 years ago, and I still use it. And the wind. Do you have a Gore-Tex suit? I don't know if you do or not.
I don't know what my Shimano is. Chris though says he doesn't remember getting points back when he used gift cards in the past. Interesting.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. If you do use gift cards, they do not give you cash back. That is an important distinction. I completely forgot about that. You got to pay actual cash to get the cash back. Use a card. They don't do it on gift cards. I forgot about that. Good call out. But Gore-Tex. So the cool thing about Gore-Tex suits, when you're fishing, you got the bibs and the jacket, is it kills the wind. So if you're in a really crappy windy day and you got a good Gore-Tex suit on and you're kind of covered up, that wind does not get through that jacket. It's like having a force shield. It's awesome. So Gruden's, have you ever had any Gruden's products?
Mm-mm.
Do you know where Gruden's is really popular? Salt and fishermen. Yeah. So saltwater and people who fish for a living on the ocean, Gruden's is a huge brand. They've been trying to market and get into the into the freshwater, inland bass fishing world or whatever fishing world, but I don't think they've gotten too much traction. But if you go to the East Coast, there's tons of Gruden, for people who are on commercial fishing boats.
This just in, K&K Customs is going to do a $100 gift card tonight to one viewer. Thank you, Kevin.
What do they make?
Kevin's got a bunch of electronics, Powerhouse Lithium, lots of good stuff. We'll probably bring up the site and take a look at it here in a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Kevin. Oh, I should mention, tonight's stream is presented by Arsenal Fishing and boosted by Powerhouse Lithium. Got excited talking about baits and forgot about them.
So grab that Mr. Gambit comment that just popped up. He's saying Dick's has some really cheap Akuma bait casters for $15. What?
I didn't see those, but they have some amazing deals online that I was going to bring up in a little bit.
$15 name brand bait casters. I mean, Akuma's a name brand. That's not some Chinesium.
It's actually Grundens, not Gruden's, I guess. I think.
Grundens? Did I say it wrong? Sorry, Grundens. My apologies. That's what we're from Minnesota. I've never seen any Grundens in the wild ever. Out there.
People are definitely not happy with the updates to the T-dubs.
Dude, the new Tackle Warehouse website sucks. I do not like it. Nobody likes it. Why did Tackle Warehouse go with this redesign? Did they not test it with their in a development environment and have people use it? Because the feedback, nobody likes it. Everyone thinks it's terrible.
Yeah.
Daiwa braid on Amazon. Little Rich.
Daiwa braid on. Let me actually.
Daiwa braid. They have multiple braids.
So let me. So I did put a bunch of my deals that I found that we'll go through here on my website. I don't really use my website for much, but
it's for SEO.
Yeah, but I listed a bunch here. Got the Omnia stuff, and there's a J Lee combo for $40 and some sales at Bass Pro. But I will show the Dick's Sporting Goods one here. So you can go to richlinger.com here. But look at this. You can get Daiwa J braid for $4 a spool.
Okay, is the regular J braid for $4 a spool? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, like SmackDown for $12. This Top Knot Uzuri is supposed to be pretty good. I've never used it, but like they've got some P-line. I mean, these are some decent stuff here.
So wait, the one oh wait, 131 for $14. Click that. That is crazy deal.
Yeah.
That's their high. What's in stock? What are the weight? Like, what are the sizes?
I guess it's just heavier stuff. It looks like.
Okay, but you know who loves 80-pound braid? Muskie guys. Like that is a good deal. $15 for muskie. If you're a muskie fisherman out there or a striper,
and you can use Rakuten and get another 3% back.
So if I was a muskie guy, I would be buying all of the 80-pound braid at that 131 because that's a nice line. I have my Stella here, so I got a Stella 3000. I'm using the 131. This line is really good. Like I really like it. I'm using 10-pound 131. This is the first time I've used it. I've used it for two years now. No, wait, 1 whole year, and it's pretty nice line.
Just drop that link in the chat where I've got all these deals aggregated. We'll probably reference that page again in the future, but
nice. I like how when you throw out a link. I like when you throw out a link, it goes on my account too. That's pretty slick.
I know. So yeah, there's some good line deals at Dick's. I guess we could go back and look to see if we can find the Okuma deal.
Yeah, I want to see which Okuma reels are $15. That's smoking. I'd buy a few. I mean, even just if you buy them and give them away to your local high school anglers or kids or something, right? So Carl Ferg says I like J-Braid. I love J-Braid Grand. I've been using J-Braid Grand as my main spinning reel line for 4 years now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I actually like frog a lot with the J-Braid.
Yeah, J-Braid's really
like
nice.
The 40, 50, 65 pound. All right, so we're saying.
So that P line,
you can activate Rakuten 3% cash back.
There we go.
We'll talk about Rakuten some more later. If you don't know what it is, it's something you should probably be using. All right, let's see here. Here's a spinning reel for $12-15. I don't see the bait caster.
I don't see any either. Wait.
I mean, there's this thing, but that's a line counter.
Yeah, maybe we got fake news.
But still, it's like a $60 to $80 reel that you can get for $12. I mean,
that's probably the real price for it is like $20. This is probably one of those reels that they put on combos. You know what I mean? Like cheap old combos.
I don't know. So, anyways, all right, let's.
So
sometimes the in-store stuff is different than online as well.
I don't know. Have you been buying? Do you buy a lot of stuff on Black Friday? I don't. Like I don't buy a lot of fishing stuff. I buy a lot of clothes. Like I'm weird. I like clothes, and I'm like get really good deals on Black Friday for like clothing. Like I buy a lot of that kind of stuff, but like fishing gear, I don't really buy too much stuff on Black Friday anymore. Although there are great deals.
Yeah. It's a little, I think, depending on where you are geographically, right? This time of year where we live, it's like.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. I think the reason I'm not super hot to buy stuff right now is because it's the end of the season and it's like, I'm not going to use it for 3.5 months. So I don't like buying a bunch of stuff and get all excited about it. And then you sit and wait till spring.
I mean, but I do have all this pile of tackle right here. So I guess I'm not.
So one thing I've been like, I usually do an end of the season inventory, and then I realize I have way too much stuff, and I just need to like donate some stuff or get rid of it or sell it. Like I need less stuff, not more stuff, personally.
All right.
There's some good stuff flying by.
So, any Daiwa deals on reels?
Okay. This is a tricky one because Daiwa has been a little more putting the screws on companies for doing sales and doing codes. I know American Legacy right now has a secret code that if you just email them, they give you a code and then you go get like, I think 20 or 25% off any Daiwa stuff on their site, but is a completely not advertised. So you have to like, and they have an automated thing. You just send an email and it automatically emails you back the code. So there, if you need a Daiwa deal right now, they have the biggest discount, I think. However, there's also the Tackle Warehouse sale where they say Daiwa and Shimano are excluded, but when you go through the checkout, you get the discount. So I'd say like you got to go to some of those sites at the moment. Maybe Omnia has some stuff up their sleeve coming up, but I know Omnia's kind of counteracted some of the non-Daiwa deals they've had with the giveaways, like the hoodies that they're throwing into the deals right now. So
yeah,
you have to pay.
Yeah, there could be something in that. The 4 days, I don't know. They also tend to do things. I mean, if you're a premium member, they do more deals for Daiwa now for the premium members. Sometimes. Let's see here. Let's see. Fishing Fix got a couple new rods, $60 off each. Couldn't resist the deal. Fishing Fix, you're not sharing what the deal is and where it is for the rest of everybody. Crush City Baits, yes or no? Said he's bought a bunch, haven't used them yet. They look pretty intriguing.
Oh, I have some.
I may have some in one of these bags here. There might be some in some of the boxes that didn't come.
I got the Crush City
Bronco Bug.
No, Cleanup Craw.
Oh, that's the Cleanup Craw.
And the Ned. These are the only two I have. Let's. So one thing that was surprising to me when I opened up the Cleanup Craw, which is a 3.5 inch. It's just your typical 3.5 inch. I was like, oh, is it like a Rage Menace kind of a copycat? But I would put this more into the. So look at this. So it looks pretty small, right? But we turn to the side, the body is huge. Like this is a thick boy bait. Like I'm
actually it's more like a chunky D. Missile bait's chunky D.
But here's the thing, it's dense. Like I'm squeezing it, man. It's like it's a really dense plastic. So I'm kind of going, you probably need a pretty big EWG, like you want a pretty good EWG on this thing.
Or like on a jig.
Yeah, I could definitely jig trailer, but man, these things are thick. And they got big old flanges on there. Like, I mean, the flanges are huge on this thing. So, you know what? Getting these in hand, you know what? The first thing I thought is swim jig trailer. Like, this seems like a really good swim jig trailer. So, that's what I'm going to use it for.
I wonder if they're getting rid of J-Braid. I've seen a lot of comments about deep discounts on J-Braid. I wonder if their Daiwa's replacing J-Braid.
The regular
or rebranding it, or
yeah, it's
maybe they're rebranding it or something.
So this is a 3.5 inch, and you get 7 baits in the bag. I like this. Why do these plastic companies always put this bullshit on here? Like it says, scent injection technology. I love the branding on these things. Like, what the hell is that? Scent injection. Do you think fish?
I don't know the difference between J-Braid and Daiwa Samurai. I'm not sure.
Anyway, it's kind of an okay craw. This reminds me of the what's the Reaction Innovations? The
Spicy Beaver.
Yeah, kind of like that. Reminds me a little bit. It's all right. I mean, it's just a 3.5 inch crayfish. Nothing special.
What's up, Bass Geek? Good to see you.
Wait, the other one I have is the BLT. Why is it called BLT? No one has ever said what BLT stands for besides bacon, lettuce, tomato. I've watched so many videos and I can't figure out what the hell BLT stands for. If it's literally just the sandwich. But yeah, here's the BLT. It's super ribbed for her pleasure.
Mutual fishing pleasure.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty, I don't know. It's a Ned bait. What are you going to do?
I've heard something about their version of, because that right? Isn't that like a super stretchy? Like that's an Elastex.
Oh, I've actually not stretched this yet. We're learning. We're doing this all the time.
So I've heard that their formula is not as reactive to other plastics as maybe Elastic is.
It's honestly, I'm pulling it pretty hard right now. I'm trying to break it. That's pretty good. Okay, I didn't know that. You just said they're stretchy, and I was like, oh yeah, they are. Okay. This color, I like this color actually. This color is this is perch. They're perch color, so it's green, kind of green pumpkin and flaky on the top, and then kind of a pearl on the bottom. I like that. This color is nice. I got a question for you. Have you drop shotted a Ned bait, like a TRD or something like this?
Not a lot, but I know a lot of people do.
It works like really good. Like drop shotting just a green pumpkin TRD or something like this, like running the hook through the belly of the bait and like, you know what I mean? Freaking works. No action, just sits there. Smallmouth eat the crap out of just a drop shotted TRD. It's amazing. Like everyone thinks you have to have these drop shot baits have all this action and float and jart around. You can just slap something like this or freaking TRD and drop shot it, and smallmouth just.
Yeah. Other people. No, Nick. It varies by. I think the Ned is that material, and I think maybe the freeloader is that material. But I'm pretty sure if you want to yank on your cleanup craw, I think the arm will fall off of it because I don't think that's not that material.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
No, that's not stretchy. Yep. That's normal. That's your normal plastique or whatever they call it. What's that stuff called that everyone uses? Plasticell. Is that right? I don't pour baits, so I don't know the names of the chemicals.
Yeah. People are saying Wheeler is a big fan of dropping drop shot Ned baits.
You know what's funny? On the back, there's a little Justin Wheeler signature and a hit with his logo on the back. That means he's getting a piece of every one of these that are getting sold, I'm guessing. See that?
Well, since we're talking about it, I'm pretty sure I ordered some stuff from Omnia a while back when they came in. HELLABASS's first rule, because I like to be ahead of so like one thing I would say Omnia does is the things arrive in the store and they're usually there for a few days before they blast out their emails or their social about stuff landing, right? Like if you're watching the new arrivals and things, like a lot of times things show up.
That's what I do.
And then I typically like to shout out links on Instagram and make posts about it so that you guys know before the general public those things that go fast. So
I have a bookmark right to the Omnia new arrivals section, and I check it every morning. It's like part of my morning routine. I check.
Yeah, I don't quite do that often.
I check my work email, I make a coffee, and I check what's new.
The level of clamshell is pretty obnoxious in these. Not gonna lie.
Wait, say that again.
The level of it's almost like a little hint of anise and then something else.
Wait, what are you testing? What is that?
I'm not a huge. I hate like big bulky clamshell.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people like them. Some people. So I went with like the green pumpkin blue, kind of the tramp stamp 1099 color.
That's like
my cleanup.
That's like a super bug. Like
super bug.
Got it.
Pretty good looking color. Yeah, I don't know if I have a. Let's see. So here it is next to a menace grub for comparison here.
Oh yeah, it's way bigger.
It's about the same length, but a more aggressive kickers and a thicker body though.
Yeah, it's different.
So I mean, it's a bulkier menace grub. It's gonna probably kick a little harder.
You know what? That might be a great rig for is a wobble head or like what I mean, like a swing head.
I thought you were gonna say a free rig.
I think it's a little big for a free rig, like a little chunky. My free rig, I like to have little teeny thin baits on free rigs.
All right, so I did get a Ned BLT. I thought I ordered a freeloader.
Wait, which is the freeloader? Is that the chatterbait trailer?
Yeah, it's a chatterbait or more like a scoping minnow. So I went with baby bass for my BLT.
So that's more like, to me, that looks like a watermelon.
It's kind of like the Yamamoto baby bass, which is like a watermelon gold flake.
It looks pretty good.
Dude, I could definitely see drop shot on that little guy.
So the last 4 weeks of my fishing up until I put the boat away last weekend was almost dominated by the freaking Ned rig. Like I got so much action on the Ned rig in the last couple weeks of the season where they wouldn't eat anything like smallmouth. I'm talking about smallmouth fishing. I had some spots in areas that I knew were just loaded with smallmouth. I would run a paddle tail through it. I would run.
That's weird. I didn't get like a shipping thing in there
from Omnia.
I feel like I need to go back and check this order because I thought I ordered the freeloaders. All right, I did. Somebody mentioned something about the Mayor. I did order a packet. No, this is the freeloader. I thought this was the Mayor. This is the freeloader is a little bigger than I thought it was. I thought this was the Mayor.
Paddle tail swim bait, right?
This is annoying that I have to take this thing all the way out of the bag to get them out.
I don't like that either.
But here is the freeloader.
Okay, so that's the
freeloader is not elastic, but this is designed to be. It's kind of spunk shadish, but it's also I don't like potential. I mean, Wheeler said he won Gunnersville on this on a moping jig head type thing.
Question for you then. So, because Z-Man's got the chatter spike, which is their pintail.
Yeah, it's not.
And this has elastic, so this is going to last way more fish than what you just held up. Like,
I think the freeloader is more designed to be a moping style bait, but also can be I would say moping first, chatterbait second.
How long is it? That's what she said, right?
4.25.
Okay, so this is 4.5, so it's a little bigger. I think this looks pretty sick. I like this. This is the hot.
It's like a sungill color almost.
Yeah, this is hot snakes. I got it out with the new Evos. I grabbed a new Evo.
I have some Evos here.
So I got.
What's up, Sean Lai?
What's up, Sean? That guy's cool. I'm gonna cut the little red thing off, and I'm gonna rig this.
Here's a suggestion for BLT for you.
Big lame turd. Yeah, that works. I've watched so many iCast promo videos about all this crap, and no one's ever actually said why the hell they called it the BLT. Like, no one said. There's got to be a story. The Bronco.
Yeah. So I also bought these. Not related. I bought a pack of the Hog Walla and green pumpkin juice as a Carolina bait.
Yes, I
heard good things about it, but have never ordered them.
Yeah, it's basically
it's more of a lizard than anything. Like it looks like a old school salamander lizard. It's a little different, but it's definitely closer to a lizard than a brush hog for sure.
I agree. I have a couple packs of those, and I did Carolina.
There's literally these smell like just straight plastic.
So I did some I do a lot of. I've reintroduced the Carolina rig as like a main rotational.
They are made in the USA.
So the Hog Walla, I did try those this year, and here's what's funny. I was dragging a spot that I knew had largemouth. I dragged the Hog Walla through, and I didn't get any bites. So I switched it out to a rage bug, just dragging a rage bug, and the rage bug got bit.
And what were you fishing?
Largies.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So it was funny. They didn't smash the Hog Walla, but I dragged some other stuff through. Okay, so I'll just rig this real quick. So this is the Bluegill Evo, which you got a different one. So I have the
I got a color that will match my
So that looks really good, doesn't it? Like, look it's got the Evo Bluegill has a chartreuse head, and then it kind of with the hot sinks. That looks really freaking good. I'd eat it.
Looks a little stiff on the hook.
It is really stiff, but that's what she said.
So this is the 3/8 ounce Evo, and I think spot remover.
So yeah, like the crappie color. To me, spot remover is crappie.
I mean, I think when they say spot remover, it's intended to catch spotted bass.
Right, but to me, the color pattern always just screams like you're mimicking a crappie. In my brain. Ooh,
so a little more. It's a little. This one definitely has more tail action.
Yeah. Yours is way more bouncy.
Which I think
we're like shaking. This is what we're doing tonight. We're shaking.
Look at mine. Mine is better than yours. But I think to your point, this is more of a hover strolling style bait because the tail is designed to really move with almost no effort.
I would use that on a spinnerbait too, as a spinnerbait trailer, like yours because it's shorter and stubbier. Ooh, someone asked a good question. What are your top 3 plastic brands? Cubs and fishing. You go first. Which I would say, what do you use the most? Out of what are your 3 brands you use the most?
I mean, probably Strike King, Zoom, and then
Interesting.
maybe missile. Because like I use a ton of menace grubs, a ton of rage bugs, a ton of speed craws.
Right.
So like a lot of bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then missile, I use a lot of the D chunks. I've liked to use the magic worm quite a bit this year.
Right.
I like to flip D bombs. I mean, I throw a fair amount of yum dingers too. Probably yums up there, probably a little ways, but probably largely on.
God, that's a tough one. My top 3. My number 1 is definitely.
It's depths. It's
No, I don't know. You think I don't use that many depths plastics? They're so expensive. A lot of people think I'm like some super JDM dude, but like dude, if you only use JDM plastics all year, like that's a significant hit to your bank account.
freeloader's leaving some grease on my computer here.
So my 3 are definitely, my top 2 are definitely going to be X Zone and Strike King. Like you, I use a lot of the same stuff you use for Strike King. I love X Zone. I think X Zone has the best all around. They just have great worms. They have great craw baits. They have great everything. X Zone's the shit. Like if you guys like, X Zone just makes really good stuff across a lot of different categories. And my 3rd would be probably a tie between Zoom and and Yamamoto. Zoom and Yamamoto probably come in the 3rd place position as a tie. I use a lot of Yamamoto stuff too. But yeah, I love X Zone. X Zone's good. I use so much X Zone stuff. I used to use a lot of Z-Man, but nowadays I'm only pretty much using Z-Man Ned baits and Ned baits. I used to use a lot of Z-Man plastics, but I've kind of not done it so much. But you're right. Missile has great stuff. Like I have been experimenting a lot more with Missile stuff this last year, and yeah, their new stuff is great. Like the mini D chunk is good, the chunky D is good. Their collabs with RoboWorm are really good. I was using those for Nico baits. Yeah, Missile's legit. Like they're doing good stuff. You know what I like about Missile? They're not ripping off the other brands; they're collabing with them.
Right.
Like they're collabing with Hog Farmer, they're collabing with RoboWorm. Instead of just ripping everybody off, they actually like partnership, which is commendable, unlike some other companies.
We got an X-Pride question for Bass Assassin.
Nope. I have not played with the 7.6 extra heavy. So I think that is kind of a swim bait rod, if I'm not mistaken. But I've never touched the 7.6. I love the 7.3. The 7.3 is a cool rod. It's a great frog rod and also a really nice like pitching rod, like heavy flipping.
I did not see the link on the Rants package. Not sure what that is. I don't know.
So wait, you're running? Are you running all birds plus Garmin? What's your electronic setup?
I have 3 birds and a Garmin for live scope.
And you're running the newest transducer for the Garmin, the
34. Yep.
34. And you're using a 12-inch unit?
No, I got a 10. I kind of wish I would have went 12, but I have a 10-inch Garmin, a 12-inch Helix up front that I split. I use 90% 360 and a little sliver of map.
Oh, you got
and then two 10s at the dash Helixes.
Do you find the 360 useful for fishing grass?
I think so. Yeah, you can see like the holes and the points, and helps you understand where it's thin, where it's clumpy. It kind of allows you to stay, like if you're going down a line, you can kind of better. Because I noticed one of the very first times I ever used it, like on Crystal Lake, a lake that I felt like I knew pretty well. I'd be going down what I thought was a weed line, and the weed line would just fade in, even though the depth line didn't change, and it may be hard to pick that up just fishing. So there is some stuff like that for sure.
So how deep do you need to be with the 360 to make it effective for targeting like holes or little things in the grass? That I'm curious about that.
5 feet maybe.
So you can be pretty shallow and be able to like use it to spot little like gaps or holes. That's interesting.
I guess it depends how. It kind of depends how high the grass is, right? But if the grass is topped out, then you're going to see them with your eyes, right? So.
So I only have active target, and I have it on a Lowrance 9-inch HDS Live, and I want to go bigger because it works, but my eyes aren't great, so I kind of want to go with a little bigger one. But like, 360. So you know what's this is going to be dumb, but you know what turned me off on 360 is when I was fishing with a friend of mine who has a 360, and we were up super shallow fishing, like flipping really nasty grass, and how often his 360 was getting just clumped with crap because he can't drop his motor, or he can't like he couldn't bring his trolling motor shallower to get through that shallow stuff. And so he was basically just plowing through all this grass because of the 360. And it was like impeding where we could go on the lake.
Yeah, there's an easy fix for that. You get 2 Solix knobs, and you have those as quick, and you literally just loosen 2 hand knobs, you pop it off, you lay it on the deck and put a strap over it.
So you take the 360 completely off the trolling motor if you're
Yeah, I can take my 360 off in 30 seconds and put it back on in 30 seconds.
Okay. I did not know you could do that. Interesting. Okay, so you literally will just lay it on the deck if you're going to go super shallow and need to raise your trolling motor.
Like if I'm going the river and I don't throw a frog all day, that thing's going to be sitting on the deck. But then if I like late in the day, like I need to go out on a wing dam or something and like do a sand drop, I can put it back on like that.
Interesting. I didn't know you could do that because I haven't fished with too many people who have 360s, and the couple times I have, like they've been actually kind of a hindrance for fishing up shallow versus like a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So just pop the damn thing off. Okay.
Oh wait, actually no, the cord's not. Yeah, no, I think I can. Yeah, I can. Wait.
Yeah. I'm only running active target, and I use it a lot for offshore smallmouth fishing or walleye fishing, and it's awesome. But like up close in the grass, it doesn't help that much. Especially, I mean, if you're off the grass line and you're using it to figure out where the grass clumps are, it's good. It helped me really. Like active target really helped me this fall because I was looking for offshore coontail that was like still blooming and big, like later in the season, and I would literally like just drive around until I saw a big clump that looked kind of healthy on the active target, and I would just flip a jig into it. And if someone was home, they would bite. If not, you just move on to the next clump. So like some of that stuff's kind of cool. You know, just finding the good looking grass on the on the forward facing sonar. But I will tell you, I was out with a guy this summer who has the same Garmin setup you do, and the target separation was amazing, especially for walleye fishing. Like you know that palette that's got the blue background and it shows the heat. You know what I mean? Like the predator look. You know what I'm talking about?
Huh?
So we were like going down a grass line, and we were on a big walleye school, and you could see the walleyes in the grass, like where they were, and that was freaking cool. I can't do that on my active target. Like you could actually pick out the bright yellow walleye in the freaking grass line in like 15, 16 foot of water. It was really fucking cool. We were like casting right at them. We're like, oh, there they are. Let's just throw the cast out, let that swim bait get the Kitech get down there, and we were catching them. It was really cool. And it made me very envious of like the Garmin setups. I'm like, damn it, I need to like switch because this is really, really nice.
Yeah, you can if you can find the Solix replacement knobs, they fit the 2 bolts. So you leave one bolt in there and then that one's slotted, and then the other one's
So it says Bass Geek says Bass Geek's in here. That guy's got a sick channel. What's up, Bass Geek? Did you notice that?
Yep, I did. I said hi to him earlier.
Oh, sorry.
See, Brian, good luck with your Thanksgiving. Bass Geek says, have you guys seen the BR fish from Duo?
Let's look it up. I don't even know what that is. What is the BR fish? Is that I'm gonna guess it's a hard bait?
Nope.
Am I wrong?
It's like a little soft plastic minnow, it looks like.
Okay. What's BR stand for then? BR. Leadhead. Oh, this looks like a crappie bait.
Oh, 3.3 inches. So it's another little front facing minnow or a little Ned or drop shot type bait.
It's a crappie bait. It's pink and it's got a little tail that's 3 inches. To me, that's a crappie bait.
It says sea bass, bonita, largemouth, and other predators.
It's on Tackle Warehouse?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Bass Geek educated us. What are you rigging this on? Obviously some kind of jig head ball head or something. I'm guessing there's some jig head they sell that you're supposed to pair these up to. I don't know. Dude, there's so much stuff out there right now. Look up the heads. Oh, is this the bait that is supposed to like you put on like there's like a darter head and it shoots around like a little minnow? I've seen videos. I'm guessing that's what that is. A darting minnow, yeah. This is all coming back to me now. This is like Rich, this is like a hot bait. Like Waypoint is selling these things. And Hookup Tackle is selling these. Like all the JDM tackle shops are like selling these BR baits.
This is right in your wheelhouse. It's a glide. It works out 3 foot side to side.
Yeah, I've seen. Okay, this is coming back to me now. I've seen videos. You can look up videos on this. It's like a minnow, and it's like when you fish a fluke and it just darts side to side. It's like that. It's like a fluke, but with a lead head. You like twitch it and it just shoots side to side and kind of bounces. My question is, who in chat has actually fished one of these and have they caught anything with it? And my question also is, do you use bait casting or spinning gear? Because to me, that seems like a spinning gear kind of rig, but I'm assuming maybe you can run heavier line on it. I've been killing out as 60 foot. Dude, none of my lakes around here are 60 feet deep. That ain't no crappy bait. Yeah, that's true. Well, he's Crappy Kev. He would know. Don't mess with Crappy Kev. He knows his crappy baits, I'm sure.
Spinning.
Okay. Interesting.
Jig Squad approved. All right, let's see here.
So what was your fall fishing like? Was it all tournaments or did you get off some fun fishing?
A little bit of tournaments, a little bit of fall fishing. My boat was out of commission all fall, so I didn't really fish that much.
What happened? I didn't hear the story. What's
the drive shaft snapped on October 1st.
You have a Mercury, right?
Yeah.
Merc 250?
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a year old, right?
130 hours.
It's
warranted, but the parts are taking forever. So,
so drive shaft. How did it happen while you were out? I
was just driving like 40 miles an hour down the channel, the river,
just died. Because
there were some other parts inside that basically were faulty, and then once those went, then I'm guessing it put torque in places where it shouldn't have been in.
So how did you get back?
With my Powerhouse lithium trolling motors for 4 miles.
Trolling motor all the way back to the ramp?
For like an hour and a half.
What? You didn't have... Oh, I suppose you didn't have anybody that could tow you back if you're out by yourself.
It was a good test for the lithiums.
Were you worried that it wasn't going to get you all the way there?
I mean, I could watch it on my app, so...
Well, it's got to be a little nerve-wracking because you're like, what if I don't have the juice to get back to the boat ramp? Like, you're kind of fucked unless you want to paddle.
Yeah, but
that sucks. So is it fixed now? Like, are you back?
Nope, still waiting on parts.
Oh man, so you're so you're kind of just your season's just until you get it fixed.
Yeah.
Was it sitting at Intune then, or what?
Yep. I mean, they were on it. They did everything they got. I mean, they got the claim filed and everything in like a handful of days, but it's just...
Well, you got till spring.
Yeah.
You got a long time to fix it. Wow, I didn't know you had that bad of a motor problem. That's crazy. So do you know why it broke? Like what did you already say?
There was some motor mounts inside and those nuts or bolts broke or something. And then once those broke, then there was movement. And then
I wonder if that's a common issue or it's just an anomaly that you had. You know what I mean?
It didn't sound like it was the first time Mercury heard of it when they called in, because they're like, we saw this, and they're like, did you look at this? And he went over and looked at this, and that's what it was. So it's like not saying it's common, but it's a known thing.
So how long ago did this happen?
October 1st.
October. Okay. So you didn't miss.
Parts are currently, the last part I'm waiting on is scheduled for mid-December at this point.
Yeah.
So no, I wanted to let my motor idle to charge my batteries with my running gun. But when the drive shaft's not spinning, your water pump does not spin. So therefore, your motor will not
Heat.
cool. So
Yeah, you're not running it idle. Yeah. That's
yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah, it's just gonna sit and get hot, 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 hot. That sucks, man. I got my boat's got a 150 Yamaha VMAX 2-stroke, and that thing is a workhorse. Like I'm very happy with my old ass Yamaha VMAX. It purrs like a kitten. It requires very little maintenance, and as long as you're good to it, it works pretty well.
All right. Let's see here.
Yeah, we got any
Didn't Sean get a speeding ticket in a different live we were doing one time? So hopefully you made it this time without a speeding ticket.
Is Sean a menace to the roads?
I don't know, but one time I feel like during a live he got a speeding ticket. I think. Bass Geek, if you come up here, I'm sure we could figure out a way to get you out smallie fishing. I would wait till June though.
So there's so many places to smallie fish. You could go to the river, you could go to Mille Lacs, you could go to Northwest Wisconsin, you could go to northern Minnesota. That's a problem. It's like, where do you want to go? Like, there's so many options around here these days. Take them to Tonka.
Kevin said Waypoint has some deals on reels in the store. You could call.
Right, so I'll touch on that real quick. So there's a shop in Minnesota that was started by some guys who worked at other shops, and they kind of like started their own. It's called Waypoint Angler Supply. They're a small shop owned by some young guys. They will totally hook you up if you call them. So if you call Waypoint, they have Shimano. They have all this high-end Shimano stuff. So if you're looking for like Twin Powers or Stellas or Vanfords, any of like the top shelf Shimano stuff, they do have most of it. Also, they have like some custom stuff. They have a lot of Daiwa as well. So like, point is, if you want a good deal and a good hookup, just literally pick up the phone, call Waypoint Angler Supply out of Tonka, and they'll probably give you a good deal.
Have you driven out there?
Yeah, it's a good shop. Like, man, they pack a lot of stuff into a small space. Yeah, I've been out there.
I haven't. My main complaint is that they're only open like 9 to 5 Monday through Friday or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know they got kind of weekday hours, but
like they need to have like at least 1 or 2 nights a week where they're open till like 7 o'clock or something. I think, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how most of the shops. Thorn Brothers is the only shop that stays open a little later around here. Like even Capra's and closes kind of around like 5, 6 o'clock.
They used to be open till 8. Do they not have any nights that are open till 8 anymore?
No, I don't think so. Maybe during hunting season, but
I feel like if they just did like 1 night a week, it would be worthwhile. Like I understand where you can't do it all the time, but
yeah, I will say though, like, so Shimano are like really hard asses about map pricing. So if you want like good hookup pricing on Shimano, Loomis, NRXs, that kind of stuff, you pretty much just got to call and get the over the phone deal. Like, you know what I mean? And they'll just like quote you a price, give them your card, and they will ship it to you. So like a lot of shops do that, not just Waypoint, but there's a lot of shops that want the business, but they can't like widely advertise the business because they don't want to get into the Shimano doghouse. So point is, give people calls, tell them what you want. They'll tell you what prices they can do, and you can make a decision as a customer. So, but yeah, there are deals out there to be found. You just got to make a few phone calls.
So about the lithiums, so I honestly I only had my live scope on my AGM for a couple outings, and then there was a winter in between before, so I can't it looks really good on lithium, but I can't say that I had like a lot of time staring at it in one way and the other. So I don't, but I mean, the general consensus is yes, they run a lot better on the better voltage.
So on my boat, I have an 18-foot old ass Skeeter, like a 2002 Skeeter. I run a 36 volt. I have 3 Walmart batteries. Like I just get the off the shelf Walmart batteries, and it's kind of badass. Like I have way overpowered trolling motor for my boat, and I can run it for multiple days and not have to charge. So, but they're lead acid batteries.
I think if you had a 36 volt lithium in there, man.
I know. Trust me.
That thing probably weighs 30 pounds. You'd take 100 pounds out of your boat.
I know. I know. But I have a smaller, older boat, but with the 36 volt using $90 Walmart batteries, I can go multiple days on it without charging, and it's awesome. So
That's because you're fishing those little tiny lakes in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's true. I don't hit too much big water, that's for sure.
Let's see here. Gambit said his local dicks had a buy 5 get 5 on DT6s. That's pretty cool.
Load up, just buy them all. Why not?
Yeah, it looks like they were even on sale, so that's awesome.
Dude,
Greg wants to know. Oh, go ahead.
You put your basket up to the rack and you just go like this. You take them all.
Greg's looking for a live scope with the Plus, the 34. Mm-hmm. He said he's found it for $2,300. And I don't know. I don't know if Kevin's still in here from K&K.
Isn't it retail like 2,600 or something like that?
I'm not sure. I would say you could look around, Greg, and then you could call guys like K&K or Chatty Boys and see if they can do any better. Or if you win the $100 gift card for K&K, you could put it towards that.
So the live
but maybe the chat can see if they've found any other deals as well.
So the Panoptics, let's see, it's $1,600 for just the transducer, but that's not with the box.
Bass Geek definitely says that his live scope gets fuzzier as the day goes on because his voltage drops. And I can tell you, I absolutely see no change from hour 1 to hour 10 with mine.
Interesting. So from what I'm seeing, the LVS 34 is the retail is $1,700 for the box and the transducer, but that's no unit. Obviously, that's just the live scope. So there you go. Yeah. Well, $1,699. So it's $1,700 technically.
Yeah. Depending on what trolling motor you're looking, I saw that. I think Chatty Boys had a couple.
Trolling motors are tough, man, because they don't typically go on sale too often. However, if you go to like your local fishing shows or you go into shops that have a few extra that they want to get rid of, in-person deals are the best on trolling motors. But ordering online,
yeah, I think I got like 10% off on my Ultrex at the Northwest Sports Show because, like, especially at a sports show, if they actually have it with them, that means they hauled in a 300-pound box or whatever it is, and there's a chance they may not want to haul that back out.
That's so true. Yeah, and even if you just go into shops and they literally have them sitting there, you usually can work out a deal. Like there's a lot of wiggle room on the bigger, more expensive electronics, and they can discount.
And there's actually not a lot of wiggle room on
trolling motors. Oh, no. Maybe I'm wrong.
So like here, $200 and some off of. I guess I'm not sharing. Off of Fortrex.
Oh, I saw this online. Like there was some. Dude, some of the PowerPole deals were pretty good.
Here's Ultrex, $500 off an Ultrex.
There you go.
So, like here, this link, if you go to,
are these? Yeah. That's not the new Ultrex, right? That's the old, like the.
That's not the Quest. No.
Are the Quests even out at places? I haven't.
Yeah.
Do people have the Quest in stock?
Yes.
Okay. Because those Quests are pretty cool. Like they made some significant engineering improvements.
Yeah, Gene, if you go to that pinned link, then there's a link to this page for the trolling motor sales if you're looking for an Ultrex. So
we have 127 people watching on YouTube, but we only have 62 likes. So smash like, people.
Kevin says we do. Yeah, they've got the Quest. I think Chatty Boys has the Quest. K&K Customs has the Quest. I've seen some other people. So yeah, Gene, go click that link pinned on the YouTube, and that should bring you to that page where you can find those. Yeah, margins are not good on trolling motors. I'm sure Kevin would tell you the same. No, I don't. Electronics as well. They're not good on Lowrance, Humminbird, Garmin. They're really not.
I got a question. What margins are good in the fishing? If you want to tag the top, where are the good margins? Your swag, your t-shirts,
fishing line, rods.
Fishing line, yeah, I've heard that.
Definitely rods are better than average.
Okay.
Apparel.
Yeah, that's why I always try to buy apparel at places because I know they make good money off their apparel, like their branded stuff, like hats and shirts and stuff like that. I got so many points from Omnia when I bought grass. That's a good thing to do. If you're going to buy a big purchase and you're going to pay retail, just do it on Omnia and get the kickback. So Omnia doesn't stock most graphs. They have another company there. They drop ship. I know because I bought one. Someone said there's a good deal. So someone brought up a good comment that if you're in the market for a Shimano Corrado, the M's, people still have tons of stock on the Corrado M the Corrado K, sorry. The old Corrado, because the new M's are out and the K's, people still have freaking pallets full of these things. Like you can get good deals on the old Corrados, which are really great reels. Like getting them for close to $100, like $120, $130 is like a no-brainer. So yeah, if you're looking at the new Corrado M versus the K, you can save a lot of money just picking up the K. Pick up Ks, man. Those things are freaking workhorses.
Should we give away a swim bait?
Yeah. Of course we should.
Let's see here. All right. So this will be, you'll be able to, I don't know if you get to pick your color. They might be already pre-poured. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it, but from DC Swim Baits, it's a weedless bait. Nice. You do have to they do not come, but you have to get yourself some 12-aught owner beast hooks, which you can get at Omnia. Let's see here. So hashtag swim bait. US only. I don't think Dave signed up for shipping baits to Canada, Frank.
Hashtag swim bait to get that sick giant what does that weigh? Do you know? Is it heavy? Do you need swim bait gear to throw it, or would a jig rod work?
You need a pretty. It's about with the hook. It's going to be about 3 ounces.
Okay, so you don't need like a giant. You don't need like a super heavy setup.
It's about 2.5 ounces, and then once you rig it on a beast hook, it'll be closer to 3 ounces.
What size beast do you need for that? Like a 9?
12-aught.
Oh, 12?
It's designed for a 12-aught.
Holy crap!
Okay. It's a pretty beefy. You want to be at least a flipping stick, not a jig rod.
Got it. That makes sense. That makes sense. I like it.
Yeah, I guess I can throw if you haven't used the code already, there's my code.
We got codes.
We got codes. We've got codes. Dun, dun, dun.
Codes are good.
There's Punch Fishing's code.
I think it's did I type that right? Yeah. I don't know. I'm a big giant whiskey cocaine, so I might have typoed it, but oh, I got a question for you. Have you checked out the new Daiwa frame yet on the Tatula while we're waiting for people to put in their swim bait notifications?
No, I like to use the reels that I have for a long time. I'm kind of lazy.
Do you notice this? Do you see this? The ridge though on top of the frame. Do you see that?
Sure.
It's actually pretty good. Like it's made to just lay your thumb in. So you got like this little ridge to just kind of like lay your hand in. And they also made a really cool little design improvement where there's a little ramp by the adjustment knob. So when you like lay your finger over the adjustment knob and then you put your thumb onto here, it's like really comfortable. So like they actually made some pretty significant ergonomic improvements. I always trip over that word to the new Tatula frame. So I'm guessing that this in the SV will be out probably next summer because this is just the regular 100 version of it. But they'll do an SV spool version of this. But anyway, this is like the new frame. So yeah, you can see it right here. So there's a ramp by the clicker right here. So like when you put your finger over it, it's pretty comfortable. And then there's this groove in the top here where you put your thumb. So like it's pretty nice. Like they made it, I mean, what more can you do to bait casting reels, right? Like I think we're kind of hitting our ceiling with how good of design you can put into bait casting reels at this point. But yeah, Daiwa's done some interesting adjustments to the Tatula frame. It's nice.
It's like, so there's almost 180 people watching, but only 60 people on the. Maybe people are intimidated by the swim bait.
Who doesn't want a 3-ounce poured?
Maybe they're
hand-poured
just like,
swim bait?
I'm not going to throw it. It's too big for me. I mean, all right. I think everybody had their chance.
Let's go. Who's gonna win it? Glenn. Go
Glenn Shane. So Glenn, are you here? Should be here. You're gonna have to send me a note on Instagram or Facebook or rich@richlingren.com. Send me an email, a message with your info, and then I'll pass that along to David, and he'll ship it out. There he is. So send me a DM or an email, Glenn.
Congrats, Glenn.
And we're doing one more swim bait. We also have $100 for K&K tonight. So
That's a good one. That's sick. Nice job, Glenn. Way to hashtag. Let's see what other good. Oh, can I talk about something real quick?
I suppose.
So I know, like, okay, so Beast Coast. So what I like is when companies actually come out with stuff that's cheaper instead of more expensive. You know how most companies, like when they release products, they go upscale, like they go a fancier version, a couple dollars more, right? Beast Coast actually went the opposite way. So they came out with these like under $5 versions of their open water football jig, which I think is really cool because these in hand compared to the regular open water finesse jig, that's the tungsten version. I'm gonna fish them both. I don't see a dang difference, like really, is like other than just the compound. But I don't know. I think it's worth calling out. I think it's cool when companies have a really popular product that sells well and everyone loves, and then they drop a couple bucks and come out with a cheaper version of it. How often does that happen? I can't think of any other examples like lately. So I don't know, kind of neat. But I will say their naming conventions on things are pretty terrible because this is called the L Metal Open Water Sniper Finesse Jig.
L metal, as in lead metal.
Yeah, but like that's like L Metal Open Water Sniper Finesse Jig. Like, do your baits need seven names?
Yes. All right.
Well,
so
anyway.
yes, Sean. Omnia is doing. They have 5 days of sales. So if you click the link pin, you can bring it here. So they have their Omnia gift cards, and then 5 days. So they have released tomorrow's already, which is a Rapala tournament bundle.
What is that? What's in the bundle?
It's basically $130 of stuff for $80. You get the Rapala scale, and it looks like a pliers, a shears, their wacky band, expensive wacky band system, and a weigh bag.
Wait, the VMC one?
Yeah.
Oh, so you get a bag of VMC O-ring.
So the long nose pliers, this is some kind of shears. You get their wacky bands, you get their scale, and a gator grip weigh-in bag.
Got it. Dude, I own a weigh-in bag or two, but I haven't used them in a while because the tournament series I fish, we have our.
Sorry, it didn't. I didn't realize it didn't follow me here. Here it is.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the tournament scale is fine. Did you? Okay, you'll love this.
These are so that this. I still use this tournament scale. It's good. These floats are junk.
Yeah, they're crap.
So you might as well just throw those in the trash.
I
have not used either one of these tools. Some people like this crossover rings. I think they're like 70 cents a piece. But
can I tell you something? The crossover ring tool is plastic, and guess what I did this year? I stepped on one.
Broke it.
I broke it. I literally stepped on it. I heard crunch, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, they break." So you can break them, which sucks.
Yeah.
You know what you can't break? Metal ones.
So then they have tomorrow some 30% off. It kind of looks like a jig of some kind. Or a jig brand. It kind of looks, I don't know what that is. These kind of look like stickworms, but we're really speculating through a lot of blur here.
Yeah, you and I have not been clued in. We could probably ask Omnia and they'll tell us, but I haven't asked them. So
yeah,
I have no
idea. It kind of looks like a spinnerbait or a chatterbait. And this kind of looks like fishing line. That looks like shooter or sniper there, but
based on Omnia's relationships, I'm gonna guess we're gonna get discounted generals. I'm guessing we're gonna get discounted line, and I'm guessing we're gonna get discounted Bassman spinnerbaits. Just call it a hunch, because they usually drop really good.
This could be an Outcast doorbuster, but I feel like they've already done like 50% off on doorbuster. I don't know, so we'll see.
We'll find out as the deals get revealed. I don't even know. Is there anything? Okay, I got a question for you. Is there anything like you want to buy or like that's on your wish list between now and next spring besides a working motor? Besides a Mercury that fires up.
Like a big purchase?
Big, yeah. Like, is there any like rods, reels, electronics?
I want to get another. I want to get another frog reel, and I don't know if I want to get a coastal. I want to get something else because I'm going to put it on a rod where a blue reel would look weird. I'm going to put it on a 795 Champion Extreme, and I just don't know if I'd like the way a blue reel. I love the coastal for frogging, so that's probably like the thing that comes to mind. I had a Shimano X-Sense on it, which is like a older reel, and it's a DC reel, and it's an 8-1-1, and it's a freaking tank. I just started to get fatigue like using it a lot, so I wanted to go something lighter.
I think the obvious maybe answer is the Tatula Elite Pitch Flip Reel, which I've been using for frogging. Is awesome because it's got the big 100mm handle with the big knobs.
Does it have a deep spool though? I thought the Flip Pitch had a shallow spool.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I've been using it for flipping, and I've
I want something that I can like.
I know you
like a mile.
Yeah. Man, I almost would say find a reel with a deeper spool and then just put a big power handle on it. So the Tatula 100 is kind of meant to do anything. It's got just a totally generic normal size spool. So like, will it toss really light baits? Like if you're tossing balsa or like really light cranks, this probably is not the best option. But if you're tossing like your typical, KVD 1.5s or something like that, it's probably going to be perfectly okay. I need to try that. Bassman spinnerbaits are great. They catch fish. They're really nice. They're very well built, nice spinnerbaits, but they are kind of expensive.
So I haven't looked at manufacturers' sales. So sometimes manufacturers do run good sales, but I will buyer beware because a couple things.
Yes.
Often make sure you compare because oftentimes manufacturer sites are sometimes like $1 or more expensive, like on a bait, or like their prices are more than they are at like Omnia or your favorite shop.
They raise the price.
And then they often don't have free deals on shipping. So sometimes 30-40% off turns into 20% off in a hurry. So I'm not saying there isn't any good deals. Just check the math before you just assume that 30% off or 25% off or 40% off is a good deal through the manufacturer. That's all.
Do the math.
Some are, some aren't. Just do your due diligence.
Do the math if you want to save a few bucks. If you don't care that much. I will say one of the advantages of ordering from the manufacturer is the selection. Usually they have all the colors. Like, you know what I mean? I'll give you an example. X-Zone. They have some colors like just straight black, like straight black net rigs, straight black everything. Omnia doesn't have the blacks. So like if you want a specific niche color, sometimes a manufacturer has those where the big shops don't. Something to note.
Awesome, Carol. That's why you caught him down at Gunnersville.
A piece of a hat?
Like this part.
You give those away?
Sometimes I throw them in the box when I make a fresh one.
No way. So people get the top part of your hats as like a memento?
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know that I need $400. I think $250 is about what I want to spend on this reel.
Yeah, so the Zillion HDs are basically made for throwing like heavy swim baits. Like they're like heavy bait. They're not really frogging reels. They're for like throwing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ounce baits. You know what I mean? Like they're made for heavier stuff. So I wouldn't say you need that for frogging by any means. So your real need is line capacity.
Yeah. And a good drag. Or a drag that will lock down.
Yeah,
not a good drag. One that will lock.
Cinch and it doesn't move.
I'd like, and I'm planning to go to the Classic. It just matter if it works out vacation and work wise.
So you
would love going Tulsa. You'd love the class. You'd love the show.
Yeah. I
Like
would love going. Yeah.
it's so much better than the shows we have here. You would geek out going to the show just for the gear.
I would love to go to a classic. However, I would never do it on my own dime. Like if it was like if I, if it was a work like you're doing work,
all that YouTube money, you need it for an expense write-off.
YouTube money. Yeah, YouTube rates are so good right now. Yeah, YouTube ad rates are just amazing right these days.
I don't think the Accents throws any further than my Coastal, but it's heavy. I will be selling my Accents probably soon, so if somebody really wants it, they can DM me before I put it on Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, I got so much stuff I need to sell. Like I've been going through my rod and reels, and I'm like, there's so much stuff I don't need that I need to post and sell it.
Sean, are you going to go and not say hi to me again? That'd be awesome, Sean.
Tulsa. I don't think I've ever been to Oklahoma.
I think I've driven through Tulsa. I don't know that I've ever.
I have been to Texas. I have not been to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a state I have not visited. I'd like to. Sounds fun. Do you have any other questions we want to dive into? YouTube apparently did good for Dandy Randy, who moved.
I've heard the East Tennessee show is really good as well. Yeah.
Oh, dude, any Tennessee fishing show is going to be giant, especially for like bass and crappie fishing.
I might. You talking about that? Oh, the
Corrado 50E is a classic.
I kind of like it. I have a Chronarch 50E too.
Yeah, the Corrado 50E is kind of he's apologizing already.
You should, Sean.
You should.
Have you used the Tatula 6.6 spinning rod? Think about jerk baits.
I don't. Is it from the bank or from a boat? Because I think 6.6 for throwing jerk baits is kind of short. Like I don't think you're going to get really long casts with a 6.6, in my opinion. Like a spinning rod. I mean, yeah, it's going to work. I guess it depends on what jerk baits you're throwing, but I like a longer rod but I'm taller too. So like jerk baiting with a spinning rod for me isn't not a big deal if I'm using like a longer rod because I'm tall. But it's a combination of what's your height? Are you fishing from a boat or a bank? And what kind of jerk baits are you throwing? But I mean, really any spinning rod that's like a medium power is going to probably be fine for throwing a jerk bait.
I just won't use one. I tried. The mechanics for me are like, I can't do it.
I could
do like a really slow, like if it was like a super cold bite where I was trying to be subtle, but if I'm actually got to like, I can't do it.
Can I give you a confession? I hate jerkbait fishing. I do not like it.
It's growing on me. I've been having a lot of success on it lately in the last couple of years.
I have been going away from it just because it's just not fun for me. Like I just don't have much fun jerkbait fishing all day. Like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't spark joy with me. Like I don't like when they're not biting it, I put it away real quick.
I tell you, but I've gotten on a few bites where it's been, and I guess the other thing, live scope has made me more interested in throwing the jerkbait.
Oh yeah, it's a great live scope forward facing sonar bait, no question. I tend to go to more Kitex. Like if they're on a shad or minnowy style bite and I'm casting at them, I kind of like I look for a reason to put the jerkbait down to bust out a swim bait like a Kitex. I love throwing Kitex with forward facing sonar. Oh, someone asked thoughts on the new Steez SV. Not really out yet. One of my favorite techniques of cold water. Yeah, obviously jerkbait is a great cold water bait. My cold water for smallmouth this last couple weeks has been drop shot, Ned rig. The last time I was out on my boat, I took 2 rods out. Drop shot rod, Ned rig rod. I didn't take anything else out. And I caught them. Like it was, it worked.
Shane, got your message. I see it.
I'm 5'10" and from the bank. Yeah, then a 6.6 is probably fine. But if you go a longer rod, you gotta make longer casts.
So Kevin was asking about turrets. I don't know anything about turrets. Never used one. Don't know much about them.
That's for the forward. You can have the forward-facing sonar on its own pivot point.
Yeah.
The trolling motor.
But if somebody in the chat has some ideas or turret experience, let Ken know.
To me, the turret stuff is out of my price range. Like those, I've looked at a few of those, and they are.
Well, and you're also like a small front deck, so like adding a turret.
Yeah. I don't have a ton of.
You're running out of real estate probably, anyways. I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm front deck challenged. Like I don't.
Colby says he uses the live scanner and loves it.
Live scanner. Nice. Someone said NRX. Oh, okay. Yes. Fishing from a boat. I would say, I'm
gonna go use the restroom quick and let you answer this question.
I will answer this question. So 852 versus 872. 872 is a better deep water rod versus the 852. If you're fishing offshore, you definitely want the 872. If you're a big Nico or Kitech, if you throw swim baits, you throw finesse jigs, you throw Nico rigs, 872S is amazing. If you're up shallow and you're fishing wacky worms, shaky head, the 852S is an amazing shaky head rod. Maybe the best shaky head rod on the planet. So I would say if you're mostly a power fisher, if you're power fishing shallow, 852S all day, every day. If you're more of an offshore person, 872S all day, every day. Both of them are good. I use both of them all the time. I would say the 872S probably gets picked up more than my 852S. But if I'm fishing docks, I'm fishing shallow grass, I'm fishing anywhere in 10 foot or less, the 852S is the jam. Both of them are stupid sensitive. Like the 852S is amazing for fishing grass, docks. 872S, if you're casting and winding, that's where you want the 872S because it's got a softer tip. I love the 872S for fishing Kitechs and even walleye fishing. It's my favorite walleye fishing rod. So if I'm on a walleye school and I want to catch fish out of a walleye school, the 872S is coming out. I will say pairing a 4,000 size reel with an 872S lets you bomb cast. So if you really want to like fish, if you want to fish that are way far away from the boat, deep, 872S is probably the best rod. Moping, so like, doing the hover strolling or moping or Demiki rig, 872S all day. Nico rigging, 872S all day. Kitech paddle tails, 872S all day. Most of the other stuff, the 852S. So I'd say if you can get both of those NRXs, 100% get them both because they're awesome. They'll pretty much cover you for most techniques. So yeah, if you don't know, Rich, there's two spinning rods in the NRX Plus line that are like the Mount Rushmore of spinning rods, and that's the 872 and 852. And I always tell people if you can, get them both because they're both awesome. I have one right here. I got my 852S sitting here. Do you throw a lot of shaky head anymore, Rich? Are you still on the shaky head thing? Yeah, no. I love shaky head. And this is the GOAT shaky head rod, like the 852S. Like if you're fishing grass and you want super max sensitivity for throwing a little shaky head into like some cover, this thing is amazing. Also, super fun wacky rig, dock skipping rod. Like up shallow, fishing a wacky worm. 852.
I use a $120 rod for skipping wacky rigs because I can see the line.
You do the Fury, right?
With a fuego on it. And it catch the fire out of them on a $200 combo.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
And I've got nice stuff, but I don't think a wacky rig is a place where you need to invest.
No, I totally agree. I don't think for wacky rig fishing, you do not need a super sensitive rod because you're not really feeling it all that often. You're usually seeing it.
Actually, I can't speak to Fady Fishing's comment.
Is the 8? I have not. So the 8. Okay, 854. This is a bait casting rod question. I have not personally owned the 854. I have the 894. It felt dead in the hand. That's interesting. I kind of wonder what baits he's throwing at. But the 894 is like the NRX jig rod. It's a 7.5, medium heavy. For throwing 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce jigs and grass, everyone uses the 894. That's like the main rod. I wouldn't say it's dead in the hand. I use mine and it's pretty good. Yeah. Any NRX
All right.
questions? I'm in.
So we got some. So a real size question. He's talking about the Stella, looking at the 2500, but went and bought the 1K. So here's the thing. For me, it's not about weight on spinning rod size. I almost exclusively use 3,000 and 4,000 size reels. To me, the weight doesn't matter much because I think the bigger reels actually balance better. So even though they're heavier, I think they don't necessarily fish heavier because they balance the rod better. The bigger spool manages line better. The bigger spool casts better. The bigger spools have better drag.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I think the fishability, the castability, everything is better on a bigger reel. That's why a lot of your smallmouth experts like Josh Douglas, Seth Fighter, guys like that have gone to the bigger reels, the 3,000 and 4,000 size. So that's my opinion. That's the way I go. I don't like, and it's another comment about spooling. Yeah, it's not about line capacity and spooling out. And I'm always going to back my spool, so I'm only topping off the top, so it's not like a cost of line thing. So that's my philosophy on spinning reels.
So I'm a spinning reel addict, right? So this is a Stella 3000 with a full spool, and this thing is almost 8 ounces. So this is 7.8 with line. So this is a heavy. It's heavy, right? I will say. So what's funny is you mentioned a few guys who are like smallmouth dudes that use the bigger reels. But when you go into Canada and you like talk with the people who fish in Canada all the time for smallmouth and walleye, they all use 2500s. Like none of them are into this big reel thing. Like it's a few specific pros that are like preaching the 4,000 reel gospel.
And an idiot like me.
I know, but like when you talk to the people who actually like live up there and like fish all the time, they're like 2,500. We all use 2,500s.
Does anybody really trust a Canadian though? I mean, their metric system. Come on.
But it's funny how like a couple Bass Pro voices are like making this a thing. But I will say, real weight for spinning reels I don't think it matters all that much because really, what rod are you putting on? So this is the Exist 2,500. Or no, sorry, the Exist 3000. So the Exist 3000 is way lighter at 6.5. So this is basically 6.5, and this is close to 8. So it's basically like an ounce and a half lighter, and they're both $800. So like, which one? I mean, like the Stellas are going to be heavier because they have more technology. It's a little more elaborate of a reel. The Exists are where they punch up is the lightness. So it's like, it's way lighter than the Stella. Honestly, I've used them both quite extensively all year, and it doesn't freaking matter. I think we overthink spinning reels way too much. You know what I mean? Like, I think for freshwater bass fishing, we way overthink spinning reels. There's dudes who go out with freaking 2,500 size flugers and catch the snot of fish and land them all and don't care. And they're using like $70 presidents. You know what I mean? Like, I think we overemphasize and like, I shouldn't have these. These make no sense for fishing bass. Like, there's no reason you need a super light, $800 spinning reel to catch a 3-pound largemouth. It's ridiculous. These reels are not meant for bass fishing. These reels are meant for salt, like, and for big, hard charging fish, right? So I think people nitpick too much on spinning reels. It's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, do what you like. I just gave my opinion. Brian gave his opinion.
Yeah, buy what you can afford. And if you want to go lightweight, the best lightweight reel options to me for spinning reels is obviously going to be the Vanford. Vanfords are super light, super durable. They're Stratics. They're, going to last you a long time. They are lightweight. So like, if you really are like, I need a lightweight spinning reel, just get a Vanford, call it a day. Like, Daiwa has moved away from super lightweight spinning reels because they're adding the monocoque body to everything, which makes everything heavier. So really the only company that's really like trying to make decent lightweight reels for under $250 is still Shimano. Like, as far as like the big boys. Does that make sense? But I don't know. Vanfords are great if you want to save some weight.
Yeah, that's why you put backing underneath that line, Clay.
Yeah, I do back. I do mono backing on all of my spinning reels.
All right, so Kevin threw in another giveaway, so we got to give some stuff away because we're nearly 2 hours in, and we still have 2 more giveaways after this, and I still have some tackle to open. So Kevin's thrown in a K&K Sun hoodie, large, extra large, or double XL, and one of these K&K custom hats. So let's get this out of the way right now. And for him helping out, please check out it's knkcustoms.com. I'll drop that in the chat here. All right, here now I need to do this.
What's the hashtag going to be?
Working on it.
All right. Yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot to bring up, and someone made a comment about it, is when you do go to the 3,000, especially the 4,000 size reels, you do get casting distance. So like those 4,000 reels with the bigger spool, if you are worried about making giant long casts, use a long spinning rod and a 4,000 size reel, and you will get significantly long casts. I do have 4,000 reels. Like I'm not against it. I have a bunch of 4,000 X senses. Anyway, we're gonna do this. All right, hashtag KK. Good thing you didn't add.
While people are putting in KK, would you get the Megabass FMJ or BMG for normal jig pitching?
FMJ all day long. That's a great, just normal day-to-day jig rod. FMJ. BMJ is a lot more power and it's more for swim baits, like heavier stuff. But yeah, FMJ all day, every day. How do you like the Addermine or Felissa compared to the NRX Plus? Addermine's pretty good. I don't have the new Felissa, so I can't comment on that. But the Addermine, I would say it's hard to make an argument for. So Rich, in general, it's hard to make an argument for Megabass rods versus Loomis because Loomis's warranty is so much better. So like if you're gonna spend a whole bunch of money, NRX is almost it's hard to tell people to go buy a Megabass over an NRX because the NRX warranty is way better. But just rod to rod, I don't know if there's really a rod in NRX that compares to an Addermine. Maybe the shaky head rod, but they're all awesome. They're all good. Well, there you go. There's a closeout price on the Coastals. I suppose, don't you think, Rich? They're gonna have to reboot the Coastals with the new frame. Like they're gonna make blue ones of these at some point. Because that's what Daiwa does. They come out with the new frame, and then it starts out in the Tatula, and then they blow it out to everything, like the SVs and the Coastals and the Elites and everything. Says the guy in the Megabass hat. I like this hat. I think it's cool looking.
You should only have to type it once. Give it a couple moments. See a couple people trickling in here.
I try not
for the K&K Sun hoodie and Richardson 112 hat.
Wait, show the hoodie again. I missed that.
Oh, boy.
Everyone wants a hoodie. Do they get to pick the size?
I didn't see the hoodie, so maybe it's not on the website yet. I don't know.
Okay. So we're giving away a hoodie and a stitched hat.
One of these hats.
I don't know. I'm a hat whore because I'm bald, so I love hats.
Oh.
I have so many.
Easy. Hats. All right, 65. I think we're kind of topped out here. We're gonna hit the button here.
Run it.
We should probably open some tackle. I got some tackle dish.
Yes.
Sun shirt's not on website yet, but probably will be soon. Critical Gravy, John Welsh. Congratulations, John. You got a hold of me. Send me a new note.
You knew his real name. You knew his real name from Critical Gravy. That's great.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I was like, I think Critical Gravy is a great screen name. I love that.
All right, so let's look. There's a couple of questions. We're kind of caught up on questions here. So this,
what do you got?
Some goodies. We still got another swim bait to give away, and nobody's got to work tomorrow. I gotta get up and early and start smoking a turkey. But this is from Tackle Craft.
What kind of smoker you got?
Just a Weber smoke fire pellet grill.
Oh, a pellet smoker, nice.
Yeah. I'm all about that lazy 90% of the value for 10% of the work. Like I'm not going to pretend to be like some snob here.
Work smarter, not harder.
The Burns? There was no Burns giveaway, but I'm about to pop open some Burns. Stearman. Oh, look, he put a packing peanut in each one of my boxes for me.
Wait,
That's
what
sweet.
is
All right. So I got 2 sets here.
We still have 123 people watching on your Facebook.
What's I said? These right before the holidays are usually good streams here.
Yeah, people got nothing
So
else.
I'm terrible about remembering the names of these. But there is I forget what these even are. Let's go back and look.
Oh wait, okay,
There's kind
that
of
was really cool. Wait,
it's a reverse bra. So it's painted backwards. See the eyes are sorry.
That's pretty slick.
See the black eyes around the tail. It's anatomically correct square bill.
Dude, that is really slick. Like, what kind of blank is that, or is that a custom one?
This is a hand carved balsa by Big M. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Zoom in on that again. That's freaking sweet.
Is it the Mac? This might be I think it's called the Mac.
Go full screen.
I can fit my turkey on the egg. I'm just too lazy to start the lump coal.
That is freaking sick. I like that.
So these are limited drops, custom paint.
What's the MSRP on that? It sounds expensive.
I think they come in a set of 2 for $80.
$40. Dude, those are sick. Okay, that's nice.
And this is
looks like a little bluegilly kind of.
I forget what this one's called. Let me see if I can.
I love that crop.
He forgets to put the name in. I forget what this.
That's nice.
I forget what they. Brian, aren't you watching? Do you remember what these are called?
The first one you showed, I would totally throw that. That looks fucking nice.
So I got basically 2 of them though. So I bought.
That's sick.
So there's 2 of them.
Yeah, that first one, they're both nice, but that first one, like that made me go, ooh.
It's really painful when you lose one to a pike, though.
Oh, use a steel leader. You won't lose it.
I lost a different version to a pike.
So this individual drops these baits. Do they sell out?
So Marty Burns, who was in the chat earlier. So this is no, that's not this one. Let's see here. He hand carves them, and then he sends them.
Okay.
To
So he doesn't paint them. He builds them, but doesn't.
No, so Marty carves them, and then he sends them to TK Tacklecraft.
Oh, okay. That's why the paint's so good because TK's fucking TK knows.
And then TK flats. Yeah, I think this is the Death Row drop.
All right, I'm jealous. That's a sick. You're gonna give some of those away right now?
No, I'm absolutely not.
Those are for you.
No, these are mine, and mine only.
Someone says, "Take it easy, Punch. You can buy a lot of Burns for 1 exist." Oh, that's a good point. Marty does pretty. So that's $80 shipped for. So true. So it's $80 for a 2-pack.
Plus shipping, not shipping included.
So close to 100. Well, close to $90 then.
So it's like $85 for a pair.
I'm impressed. You're buying these bougie crankbaits. Look at you. You're usually Mr. Frugal.
So this is the Mac. Oh, this is called the Mini Hellcat, is what this one is called.
Okay. So if you guys don't know, Rich is very frugal. He's kind of a penny pinching miser. So him dropping $80 on 2 crankbaits is blowing my mind right now.
So this is the Mini Hellcat in Bean Gill. And then this is the Mac.
Okay. In this question. The smaller one. Are you throwing that on a baitcaster, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'll throw these on a 704 Dobbins.
Okay, so it's heavy enough to throw on a caster.
With like a Corrado 50E.
Got it.
But I do have you may have missed some of the other ones, but here's Basically their version of a Bagley.
Oh, that's nice. That's
And
hand-painted.
then here's a 2.5 square
Ooh,
bill.
yeah. Dude, those are sick.
And then I forget what these ones are.
Dude, you're racking up the custom balsas. Look at you. Okay, that's cool.
And
So
then
short, like a blue back kind of a deal. Rich is flexing now. Look at his custom balsa collection.
this is the rat brain.
Oh, that's sick. Was that purple? Is that a purple on the face there?
Yeah, it's got a little purple on it. This is the SV1.
Oh, of course he put the red hook on.
Very close to a Jackal Bling, or it's believed that Jackal Bling was actually
the Bling
this bait
55?
inspired the Jackal Bling.
The Bling 55.
Here's the root,
Ooh.
which is the one I lost its mate to in a different color. And then I think this is the full size Hellcat.
Okay, that is sick too.
And
Dude,
Coleman Craw.
I didn't know you had such a baller balsa collection going here.
Yeah.
All right. We know what Rich's
just a few
vice
things.
is. Someone says Rich's new name, Big Baller Balsa.
And actually, I don't know if Bobby Balsa's still in the chat, but he's got way more than that.
Dude, those are really nice. I like the one that stuck out to me was that first chartreuse one that you showed. That was I like that one a lot.
So that's those. Should we give away another swim bait and then I'll open up with? So I got some whatnot baits from Baxter in these.
Oh, you went on his live stream and bought some stuff?
I've been hanging out in the whatnot as well.
Dude, I've purposely avoided people's whatnot streams because I don't need to buy more stuff because I know if I do go down there, I'll get all wrapped up in the hype. So I purposely don't watch whatnot streams so I don't spend money. But it sounds like
I only watch Baxter's.
It sounds like it did not work for you though. You bought some things. Oh, Nick is asking where you can buy those cranks.
You become a Patreon member to TK's membership, and then you get in on drops.
Ah, nice. So there's behind a wall where you.
Not only are they expensive, but I am in a membership basically to find out when they drop.
Wait, were you giving me crap for being in the Hookup Tackles membership only boxes, and now you're doing kind of the same thing?
Yeah, but that's for that crappy JD. This is American-made, handcrafted stuff.
All right.
We're supporting small business here. We're supporting small business.
That's a fair point. All right. I got no counter to that. That's a good point. And those things are sick. Those are nice baits. So, all
right. So we're going to give away another DC swim bait here. 6.5 inch weedless.
You run the giveaway. I'm going to take a quick.
And they are. I forget to mention that they are running a 30% off sale on Friday drop. So yeah, I'll drop that link in the chat here. So if you want to go check out DC swim baits, there's a link. If you want to go bookmark that for Friday, they are doing 30% off on Friday on a drop on Friday morning. So if you want your chance to get these, you know, I don't know what colors he's dropping yet, but he's going to have some special color drops on Friday. So if you want to do that, if you don't win one tonight, you can click that link. I also put the link at the bottom of that like Black Friday page on my website. So if you forget, they're all on the, basically if you go to the pinned link on the top, you can get to any of the stuff we're talking about tonight. What's up, Amy? We were just looking at some balsa. You might have caught that. We were looking at the mini back and the, what was the other one? I'm bad. The mini Hellcat and the Mac we looked at. Just hopefully the bean's ready to rock and roll for Turkey Day tomorrow. So 64 people in on the swim bait. $66. Lots of people. I appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat tonight. 69. That's a pretty cool number. All right, we're at an even 70. Hopefully everybody's in that wants to be in. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. All right, we're running it. Who's getting the swim bait?
So, also, speaking of Dustin Taylor getting a swim bait.
Justin.
I don't know if I haven't seen him in the chat. I don't know. He might be working low key somehow. I don't know. I didn't. But congratulations, Dustin.
Congrats.
Send me your address in the Instagrams. Oh boy. Oof.
Oh yeah,
that's all right.
people won't see all the comment because most people are talking on your stream. So when people join
Yeah.
my channels, they don't see all of the comments. So yeah, I would suggest going on the HELLABASS stream if you want to see all the chit chat. That's the one I'm talking on. I don't talk on my own.
Yeah, so I got all these listed on that pinned comment. And so also the deceased, we're talking about made in the USA. These are hand poured in Bloomington, Minnesota, St. Paul, somewhere like in like.
Oh really?
So, yeah, these are hand. Look, David Sindrich, he makes these all himself. He hand pours these, hand tests them, hand paints them. So
that's awesome. Support the locals, right?
Congrats, Dustin.
Congrats, Dustin. I hope you got a. Are you gonna send them the beast hooks too?
I don't know. They're coming right from David. I'm gonna pass on the. These aren't the swim baits they're giving away. He's gonna. He sent me a message and said he'll ship them out. So.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, that's nice of him. Thank you.
There's no wrong stream.
You get the same entertainment.
We still have $100 gift card from K&K Customs, so don't forget about that.
And just since we still have like 120 people in here, just so you guys know, we're gonna do big tackle unboxings in a couple weeks. Yeah, so
this is one of the 4 boxes. We'll probably add some stuff to it. So
I'm gonna dive into my tackle vault and find some cool stuff to pepper the boxes with. Like maybe I'm gonna bust out some interesting little Megabass stuff and throw it in there. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, so a couple weeks. We're gonna maybe shoot for in December to do the big.
Yeah, before Christmas, but after Thanksgiving.
Precisely.
Favorite fluorocarbon used for spinning reels and bait casters. So I will say that all my spinning reels are braid to a fluoro leader. I do not do straight fluoro on any of my spinning reels. I don't like it.
What braid do you use?
I'm really not that picky.
Fair.
I've got like Suffix. I've got Power Pro. I've got Sunline. I've got probably some Smackdown. I've got it's like whatever is available and on sale. It seems like I know some people are very like I like a 7-strand braid for this and a 3-strand for this, and I'm just not that picky. Fluorocarbon mainly for me is either Sunline or Seagar. On spinning rods, I'm usually using like Invisix or Sniper for my leaders. I will use Tatsu for leaders because it's expensive, but at 8 feet at a time, it's not that expensive. If you're spooling it up, it's expensive, but as leader is really not. And then bait casters, again, my braid, I got Daiwa J braid. I've got different kinds of braid. And then fluorocarbon, again, it's typically Sunline or Seagar. So I'm kind of all over the place, to be honest. I don't know if you're...
We're pretty similar on the fluorocarbon. So like all my bait casters, I'm running 15 to 17 pound, mostly Invisix. I almost use Invisix across the board. Some FC Sniper. I have been experimenting with the Tatsu. So I have thrown Tatsu. Tatsu is weird. Like when you first start using it, because it's so soft, it fishes like, I don't know, it doesn't fish like fluorocarbon. It's so much softer. I also have noticed, I don't know if, do you have any like reels that are fully spooled with Tatsu?
I've done it, not recently. So I bought a couple spools of like 20 pound to put in my jig rod.
Right.
And I didn't think. I mean, I think there's other. I don't think it's. I mean, it's nice. It's buttery.
Right.
It's
It's buttery. It's a good word to describe it. I will say in my Tatsu adventures, when you bird's nest Tatsu, it's a pain in the ass to get out. Like it's like harder to unbird's nest than like Invisix or Sniper. Like it really digs in and gets wrapped up in bad. Like I've had some stuff where like I have a wet thumb and I bird's nest or I'll whack it on something and bird's nest like a motor or whatever. Like I've had some bird's nesting situations on Tatsu that are basically like good luck getting this out. But yeah, anyway, I use the same fluorocarbon you do. My braid though on spinning reels, I'm almost 95% across the board using Daiwa J Braid Grand because I love it because it casts so much better than the Power Pro Super Slick V2. So if you're using an 8 carrier braid, I like the Grand just because it casts further than V2. So Super Slick V2 is softer, which means it doesn't cast as well. Regular Power Pro outcasts Super Slick. Like just the regular 4-strand Power Pro, like you can bomb that. So anyway, I like J-Braid Grand for almost all of my spinning. Bait casting braid, I've been playing with Smackdown. It's great. Like my flipping rods are Smackdown and my frogging rods are either Stiffix 8, was it 832? What's the number for the Stiffix braid, the regular? Starts with an 8. I don't remember. 832.
832.
832. Anyway, I either use that or Seaguar Smackdown these days. I've had no breakoffs with Smackdown. 50-pound Smackdown for heavy.
I don't know the last time I've broken off braid. Period.
Yeah, I really like the Smackdown. That's good stuff. But the price went up. Like Smackdown used to be like around $20, and now
I think it was on sale at Dick's.
Dude,
what the heck was that? Why is there a bubble? What?
They added okay. This is a video thing now. They've added when you put in the gesture.
So if I go like this, it's gonna do. Is it just your side?
I don't know if it's my camera.
Is it just your channel? I don't know. What is that like?
Makes fireworks. I think it's a Logitech thing.
Oh, it's your camera. It's not YouTube.
Yeah, so it's one thumb up.
Okay.
Double thumbs up makes fireworks.
That's really weird. Okay.
It's like a.
We probably just lost like 100 people watching. So I have gone to big game mono for most of my moving baits, like spinner baits, chatter baits, crank baits, jerk baits, like reaction baits. I've gone a lot to mono now.
Dude, that's like old school. I used to use big game for most, like, because you get big game at Walmart back in the day. That's where I used to buy it. You get the big spool of big game at Walmart for like $10. Like that used to be like the go-to thick line. But yeah, so I like J-Braid Grand. Stufix 832 is good. Like you said, Invisix is awesome. Sniper's great. Tatsu's good. I pretty much stay in those.
Yeah, it looks like you can get Smackdown for like $13 a spool through Dick's right now.
What sizes? Click on it once.
Boy, come on.
I wonder what sizes do they have? Because Smackdown 50-pound is freaking good flipping line. Like I love it.
Just 50 and 65.
Dude, I might go buy a few. That's freak $12. That's a good deal because it's like $30 on Omnia and everywhere else right now. $12 for 50-pound Smackdown, frogging, flipping. There you go. Done. I might go buy a couple. That's a good deal. Do you reverse your braid? I do sometimes.
Sometimes.
I'm feeling very cheap and I have some time on my hands, I'll reverse a spool on braid.
If I've got if I've got like two rods, like where one's getting low, and I can take it off one. I don't like, you know what I mean? It's like easier to take it off one reel and put it onto another versus like.
Oh, that's what I do. I'll take a reel that has no line. I'll spool it onto that and then spool it back or whatever. Reverse it.
All right. Let's see any more questions here. I am not aware of is the Casking eye reel the one that has the chip and the app? I mean, I'm aware of it, but I've never looked at it.
No. Nobody's gonna buy those.
I don't know if Zach's still around here.
Oh, Zach,
Light scope worth it on Weedy, Metro Lakes. I mean, I mean, if in a lot of Minnesota situations, a lot of people will say they like the 360 more than the live scope or active target. Obviously, if money's no object, then both is better. But I mean, if
So I know Zach. Zach fishes in our Greenhorn League. I've hung out with him quite a bit. Zach's a cool dude. I have forward facing sonar and I fish all these grassy lakes. It's just nice because you can detect how far away you are from the weed line, so you can see the weed lines really well. But you're not seeing the holes or the little weird changes on the, like, I still will on a weed line. I'll drive past and do the side scan, right, to try and find the little weird things, and then I'll kind of loop back around and use the live target or the active target to figure out like how far away I am from the grass lines. But yeah, in super grassy lakes, I will say the one thing where active target comes in really handy is fishing offshore grass like coontail or milfoil where it's patchy, right? So when you're off in deep water and there's like big stalks of coontail that are random, that is where live scope comes in amazing, because I'll just literally stalk. I'll just go down an area. I'll just pan left and right, and I'll be like, oh, there's a big coontail patch, pitch. Oh, there's another one, pitch. You know what I mean? So like offshore grass fishing where it's kind of patchy, forward facing sonar is freaking awesome.
Yeah, and I will say that like you get that same information on 360, but it's a little slower.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're like spot locked or you're creeping down a weed line, I have noticed that I've started to look at my live scope more because I can constantly pan and like literally I can like pan pitch like I'm like it's live, right? So
can I tell you a quick anecdote?
But I would say that, and then you get the advantage of seeing potentially fish suspended off or bait and things like that. So I'm kind of starting for some things leaning more live, but they're both great.
So I got to tell you this quick story. So I was on a lake in Wisconsin called Grindstone. It's like one of my favorite lakes. I'm out there and there's this point, this shallow point that comes out that usually has smallmouth. We pull up to it and I pan to the side. I pan to the deep side of the point and there's a school of fish, like a bunch of them. I didn't know if it was walleye or smallmouth. So we start casting at it with finesse jigs. It's smallmouth. We whack a bunch of fish out of the school. We kind of wear the school out. Like we caught 6-7 fish out of it and then it started to like calm down a little bit. I did what you did. I just turned the trolling motor. Like I literally just panned to the left and I saw on the point that we were next to, there's a giant white dot just sitting on the point. And I just quick panned over and I told my buddy in the back of the boat, I go, hey, Josh, cast like 30 feet to where I'm pointing. He pitches over there, thunk, 4.5-pound smallmouth that was just sitting on this point that it was to our back. Like we were casting this way and that fish was behind us. I just panned real quick around just to check. Big dot. I said, cast over there, catches the biggest fish of the night that was behind us. I don't think I would have saw that on a 360. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff, it comes in handy for where you just, that quick panning that you're talking about. Like you can just zoom, 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 zoom.
All right. 10-10. I feel like we should do the K&K drawing and then we'll get into some tackle here. So
let's do it.
So Kevin, if you're still here, he's doing $100 gift card. So they've got a lot of stuff, electronics, accessories for your boat, things like that, powerhouse lithium. So if you were thinking about getting a 16-volt battery, Bass Geek, like, I don't know if you're still here, but you could enter for this.
Where are these guys located out of?
I believe they're out of New York.
Nice.
But they've got other things, switches, running gun chargers. Yeah, there's things for your boats.
So someone said, are we on the BFS craze? And I will say absolutely 100% not. I'm anti BFS and I will forever use a spinning rod instead of buying a BFS setup. So I'm team spinning rod. BFS is stupid. I just want to throw that out there.
I kind of agree.
I like spinning tackle. Why would I not use spinning gear when I, like,
All right, so KK 100.
100. Let's go.
Basky earlier asked about DCs.
I've had DCs
I've
over
had
the
them.
years. They don't blow me away. I don't.
No, I think for people that are getting into baitcasters, they have a lot of merit. If you've used a baitcaster for 10 years and you've got the thumb, I don't know that there's a lot of merit to it. But if you like them, that's fine. I know some people like them for like throwing like jerk baits and things situationally into the wind and stuff.
100%. Yeah. I'm not going to tell people to not buy DCs, but I don't own any personally because I've had them and I don't find that they're doing anything better than what I've been able to do with like a regular Corrado versus a Corrado DC or like a Metanium versus a Metanium DC. Like to me, I think you and I are just more experienced with baitcasters, so we don't really feel the need for that extra maybe 2 feet that a DC is giving us.
I feel like, do they actually cast further, or are they actually like hinder your casting on the, like, I don't know. I've not played. I mean,
that's a good question. I don't know. I've had them. I didn't find that they were like any better than not having one, so I just haven't purchased any. But I will say,
and they're heavier for the people that are like weight DC that are heavier.
I will say people seem to love the SLX DC, like the low price point Shimano SLX DC. I've been tempted to pick one up a couple of times just to test it, but people seem to freaking love the SLX DC. Apparently that's like a really good reel. So if you're looking at the DCs, maybe look at the SLX as kind of an entry point.
So one guy said they absolutely, when you do backlash them, they're worse. And then Colby says if he hits a braid knot, it goose up his. So interesting.
I will say the sound a DC makes is awesome. Like I love that. Bzzz, like the noise it makes is very makes you smile. Like it's kind of fun. Like I think the noise, like the sound of the DC is.
There's actually a really good like TikTok meme, like where it's like casting. It's like that old guy that like whoop.
Yeah,
like where he's like.
Oh gosh, I mean the DC noise is awesome. Like the it's cool. I love that. It's my favorite thing about DCs. Yeah, see that's the thing. It's people seem to really love the SLX DCs. Like for the money for the SLX, people basically say like you don't need to get the Corrado. Like the SLX is pretty much the same and way cheaper. Interesting. That's a good point you make, though, Rich. I have a buddy of mine who doesn't throw baitcasters that much, and he uses a DC when he wants to throw it, and that's why he has it, because he doesn't use baitcasters that often, and when he does use it, he likes the DC because he doesn't.
And I think if it helps you make the jump or give you the confidence to get into baitcasters, then it's awesome.
Right, yeah, because he likes throwing chatterbaits, and he only throws chatterbaits on like the one baitcasting combo he has, and he uses the DC.
And then when you're fishing with them, and you hear it, you're like, oh, he's throwing the chatterbait. You don't even have to look back. He's throwing the chatterbait now.
It's true.
And if he catches a fish, you're like, oh, he caught that on a chatterbait. So
yep, he literally has a baitcasting setup just to throw chatterbaits. He's a friend of mine who's like a walleye guy. Oh, 60. So it's about the same entries that we had in the last one. So
yeah.
So that's a good news. People aren't leaving. They're hanging around.
So not everybody loves the sound.
I don't know. Yeah, it is definitely a personal preference. I think it's kind of fun. Abu Wine. Yeah. I know what he's talking about.
We're going to draw.
Do it. Run it.
For the Hundo, for the K&K Kevin Hundo gift card.
Thank you, Kevin, for supplying that. Much appreciated.
Michael Bradley.
Michael!
Chat veteran.
Let's go.
Kevin, I think you're in the minority that think the sound's cool. Okay, Tim, how are we coping with David Fritz, the Pumpkin King, retiring?
Yeah, he's pushing. Isn't Fritz pushing 70? Like that's a pretty good time to maybe hang it up, right? I think he was like, I saw something. He was like 67 or something like that. That's a great career, man. You're finally retiring from pro fishing. At
somebody wants the AI.
Oh yeah, that's right. I should have done that during the drawing.
I guess it could kind of be good, like when I get like a super chat or something like that. I could. Oh, there's Michael. Yeah, channel member.
Oh, we
I feel like the channel members are winning tonight.
Wait, we haven't done the one of us. One of us.
Yeah, well, nobody's joined tonight that I've noticed,
Oh, well,
unless I missed it somewhere.
Somebody should do that so we can do the Wolf of Wall Street. One of us. Is that what that movie is? That's the right movie for that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I was like, I double guessed myself that for a second. I was like, is that Wolf?
Let me see. I can. No, yeah, I'll see it there. Cool. Yeah, not great for kids, but it's an entertaining movie.
It's great.
Not a kid friendly. All right, so I got a couple more things to look at here.
Yeah, what do you got?
I don't know if these are in chronology. I don't know what. Oh, let's see here.
Someone says
so. These are whatnot purchases. So Kevin Baxter, the bait man, has been running bait or whatnot streams, and they're kind of fun. I'll probably do some myself this winter to clear some stuff out. Yes, thanks again, Kevin. So Michael, send me a note, and I'll get your info to Kevin. So this is actually I bought these. These are the Super Hogs. My buddy Pat. I think they're like fading these out, or they're going away. But they're kind of like a brush hog with a thicker short, body, stubby. They're not super popular, but I have my buddy Pat who's been in a couple of my videos and stuff. People that watch my channel, they've seen Pat. He loves these, so I basically bought these just to give them to him.
So are the bodies on those are a little thicker, right?
They're like a.
It's almost like a tube.
The top half is more like a full size brush hog, but they're short, and then they've kind of got like more like beaver flanges on the bottom.
It's basically like a flipping
bait. Bit. Yeah,
like a flipping bait. How long are they? 4-inch?
I don't think it says, but it's probably.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah,
3.5 to 4, 3, something like that.
Little stubby flipping bait.
Yeah, they get bit. I mean, he's caught them really good with me.
How much did you pay for those, and how many packages did you get? I'm curious.
I think it was like $1 or $2 or something.
So it costs more to ship.
So the one thing cool about whatnot is like your first bait is usually like $3 or $3.50 for shipping, and then like the second one is like free or an extra 50 cents. So like,
so whatnot
it like if you win auctions, it automatically combines your shipping based on what you buy.
Oh, so the shipping, if you're selling on whatnot, they provide the shipping labels.
Yeah, it's like all baked in, and then
because I was gonna say I wouldn't want to sell a $2 thing of plastics when it cost me $3 to ship it.
Then I got a little Killer B1 balsa.
Okay, that's pretty nice.
And I believe this is actually like an old one made in Florida, like actually a good one. And I think I paid like $7 for that. So
wait, and that's a balsa?
Yeah, it's an old Bagley.
Oh, okay.
Killer, actually, it's a Killer B2.
You have to add it to your extensive balsa archive that you're building.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. I'll be in touch, let you know. Get a hold of people. So yeah, chartreuse black back. So just, like here's a.
You paid $7 for
this is a bigger version, but there's like the Marty Burns hand carve. Obviously, it's not the same body style, but like you can see that they're inspired. They have both have the Bagley shape.
That one, that top one, I want that. That looks so sick. I would throw that.
Yeah. So that's that. So if interesting, you can search Kevin up on, and then he multi-streams to YouTube. So like I was saying, I'll probably do some of this over the winter to get rid of some stuff.
Dude, it's crazy.
It'll be just a good way I can stream, hang out, get rid of some. I mean, probably list baits for $1 or $2 a piece. If they go up to 5 or they go up to 10, that's great. If they go for $2, then we're just hanging out and baits are getting out of the, that type of stuff. So
I got a dumb question about that. The bags to ship them in, you gotta provide those, right? Like the little
whatever the mailer is or whatever.
Yeah, so you still gotta go buy.
But a lot of that I just recycle like all the Amazon mailers that come in and just reuse those.
Yeah, so you're smart.
Like these, I cut the top off these, so like
you just retape.
I'll put my baits in here and then reship them out. All right. So this one, here the other night I bought a couple of Little Johns.
Oh yeah, Spur Little Johns. I've actually
and I think
that crayfish one, I've owned that bait before. The Little John crayfish.
Yeah, so these are pretty good baits. I've had good luck on them. They're proven winners. I think these retail for like 15 a piece or something. I think I paid like 8 or yeah, they've gone up. I think I paid like $8 or $9 for these.
I remember getting those from Gander Mountain back in the day for like $8-9 back in the old days. Those Little John's been around a long time.
I did not get a smallmouth crush buff, Dustin. Yeah. So these are baits that are good. I'll use them. And I don't know, part of it's just hanging out, right? And like,
oh yeah, well that's the whole thing with the Whatnot streams is it's like becomes like a party, like everyone's hanging out and everyone's like, and the whole Whatnot. What's interesting is the Whatnot thing really has been blowing up in like the card space, so like sports cards and you know what I mean? And Whatnot's blowing up in like shoe flipping, like people selling sneakers, but like
that's why you're afraid to get on Whatnot.
It's starting to spill over into the fishing world, though. That's the thing. It's like been Whatnot's been really popular in other genres of people who buy a lot of crap, but like it's starting to spill into the fishing world a little bit. Like I'm seeing.
Yeah. So I bought, I don't know, a bag of tramp stamp beavers. I have a bunch of them already, but like I already think I'd already won something, so I was like, I'll add those for $3 or whatever. Like they'll get used. And then I bought some old school Lake Fork bluegill tube craws.
Wait, pull those out. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'm okay. So it's basically
they're the same.
It's the same thing as a craw tube from Zoom.
Just more garlicky. It's the same mold as Big Bite. Like this is where whatever the company that molds them. They usually originally made them for Lake Fork.
So does Lake Fork not sell those anymore?
I don't think they do.
Because I haven't seen those on the store shelf ever. You see coffee everywhere though.
But I know like he had a bunch of like DT flats. He was selling wiggle warts. He was selling minus ones. Right? He was selling. Yeah, so I mean, he's just got lots of stuff. Like, I think he's got a bunch of net baits coming up soon. I don't know. So,
all right, you're starting to talk me into maybe I need to watch his Whatnot. I don't need anything.
All right, 3 favorite jerk baits.
Okay, you go.
Rearrange, MR, Megabass 110. Trying to think, do I have a third one?
Nothing from Apple? The Husky? No Husky?
The rearrange regular version, not the MR. No Husky I pretty much only throw the Megabass 110 or the rearrange. I can't think of another jerkbait I actually probably like I would say probably a Provoke would be my third one.
Provoke?
6 cents Provoke.
Yeah. I would say my number ones are obviously Megabass 110s. Number 2, you know what? A jerkbait I've been throwing a lot in the last 2 years or more often is the OSP Rudra. So the OSP Rudra is really nice. They're a little bigger. They're a little bigger than the 110, and they cast really far. So I kind of like the OSP jerkbaits now. I've actually been throwing the OSP jerkbait more than the re-range. I actually don't think I caught a single fish on the re-range this year. I'm throwing other things. But yeah, I would add OSP jerkbaits are really nice. Like they make the Rudra and they have a littler one. So like, you know, if you want something a little different, that's still, I don't know, they're still like $20. They're not cheap. You know what jerkbait I want to try is the Duo. Apparently the Duo jerkbaits are really nice. I don't
Andy Young used to say those are really good. He used to use those a lot.
Yeah, that's a jerkbait I want to maybe pick up a couple this coming year and play with them is the Duo jerkbaits.
Have you thrown the Canada jerkbait? That's a big giant one.
No, I have one and I don't think I've ever gotten it wet. Nope. Stunna. Oh yeah, I have stunnas. I've thrown them. I have yet to catch a fish on a stunna, but that's not the bait's fault. That's just me not committing to it. So this, you know why people like the stunnas with forward-facing sonar? Do you know this? They sink. So a lot of people just throw it out, watch it get to the depth they want on the forward-facing sonar, and then work it. So like it's a nice slow sink jerkbait that's not super expensive. So people love fishing it around brush or wood because if you lose it, you're not out like a $20 jerkbait. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Stunna is a favorite for forward-facing sonar people.
Gator said, not a fan of the Stunna.
I would like to know why.
I haven't bought a stunner. I haven't thrown it.
I have a couple. I've played with them. I haven't committed to using one for a whole day, so I haven't really had a lot of experience. Like I have a lot of experience with it. The best swim that you like? Swim what? Swim jig?
So I think we're talking.
Swim
I
bait?
guess I would say I took that as a swim bait, which I means I would say something that's 5 to 6 inches or bigger, not a 3.8, not a.
That's not my
So
wheelhouse.
the owner, I've done pretty well on the owner swimmer. I forget.
Yeah, it's
forget
got a
what it's
weird
called.
name. I know what you're talking about.
It's like a mag draft, but a little smaller. That owner, the mag draft is really good. I've caught a lot of fish on a mag draft.
I use them. I'm pretty lame when it comes to big swim baits.
Those are a couple of easy ones that aren't super expensive. They're like $10 to $15 a piece. They get bit.
I'm a flipper power fishing finesse guy. I don't. Me and big baits are not a thing right now. I'm the wrong guy to ask about swim baits.
Travis, you should be able to just use my code on the bottom of the screen for Swamp Lord Frogs at Omnia. That'll get you 15% off on Swamp Lords. Is that enough?
Someone said, "Damn, over 2 hours in going deep." Are we really over 2 hours? Holy cow!
Yeah, we're almost 2:30. It's the Birkin swimmer, is what it is.
Birkin, dude, Birkin sounds like a shoe. Like, oh, I got a pair of Birkins. Doesn't sound.
I've heard people say the 13 Loco is good, but I've never thrown any 13 baits.
Who does the 13 baits? Isn't it Catchco? Is the company that does all the Catchco baits? I think does.
I don't think so. Maybe I don't know.
Like the same company that does like the Guggen baits and the Catchco baits does 13.
Well, 15%, and if you're a premium member, you get an extra 10%, Travis.
Yep.
Or you could buy the Omnia gift card for $650 for a 60, which would save you 17%, and then you could use my code on top of that. That would be another way, Travis.
Yeah, honestly, 15% discounts are kind of the standard these days outside of the big sales.
Especially on something new, like I don't know if you're going to find Swamp Lord. I mean, like, so 15% if you use the code. If you want to like buy you basically be getting close to 30% off if you did the gift cards and then use the code after it.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Use the tricks, man.
But if you're a premium member, the gift cards kind of diminish because then you're not going to get the 10% back. So it still would be cheaper to use the gift card, but the difference isn't as much.
Get the free shipping, which is a bonus.
Let's see. What's up, Shane? Pretty active in the video comments. Let's see here. Your favorite rod and reel to fish any technique? Like, what's your... I don't know. Which rod and reel do you like to fish the most?
I gotta think about this one. Can we do a bait casting and a spinning, or do we have to go across both?
Sure. There's no rules.
We can make stuff up. All right. So bait casting, I think if I'm gonna pick one favorite rod reel, I really like my Steez AGS 7.5 bottom contact 2 with a Steez A reel. Like that's just a combo that I use for Texas rigging. You can drag with it, Carolina rig. It's just a really awesome do everything rod. And it's a 7.5, so you can make big long casts. So I would say the Steez AGS bottom contact 2 is an amazing rod, and I throw Steez A on it because Steez on Steez is just sexy. So that would be my bait casting setup. What about you?
Sorry, I'm just reading comments. Boy. Oh. I mean, I'd like to say my frog rod, but like that's a little
you're a hardcore frogger. You love frog.
But I would say the rod that's in my hand the most is my Dobbins Extreme 705C with a Tatula SV on it, and that's usually got 20 or 22 pound sunline on it and a 3/8 or half ounce Bass Tech jig with a speed crow or a Metascrub on it. That gets a lot of work for me.
Right. Yeah, that's your jam. You're a jig power fisherman.
Yeah.
I've been doing it a lot.
A close second would be my the jig rod special, the Champion DC 744 that I also have that same reel on, that 2.2 SV. I used to have an SLX XT on it, but I moved that because it kind of just worked out because I had a SLX that just wore out. So then I moved the SLX XT to that rod, and then I just upgraded to to 2 SV on that one.
Nice.
Spinning rod, I think my Champ Extreme 742, and I believe I've got an older Stratic on that. It's either a Stratic or a Tatula spinning reel, 4,000 size with like 12-pound braid, floral leader.
Yeah, you're kind of doing everything with that.
Yeah.
I'd say my spinning rod would definitely be.
That's an interesting combo. A Metanium on a Fury.
Yeah, a $430 baitcaster on a $100 rod. Why not? I would say it
works.
I have a lot. See, the problem is I have so many cool spinning setups. It's hard to like pick one because they're all kind of awesome. But like, if I had to pick one, I would probably go with the Conquest 842S because it's a super versatile rod. You can kind of do everything with it, and it's super bougie. It's sensitive. It's really durable. It's really light. So I would go with Conquest 842S, and then my Conquest all year I've been running this exact Stella. I just pulled it off of it actually. So I would go Conquest plus a Stella 3000 is because you can kind of do everything with it: whacking rooms, Ned rigs, swim baits, Nico rig, whatever. I'm going to go super bougie on the spinning rod and go that setup because why not? It's fun.
The owner Birkin swimmer is regular $15. The Black Friday price is $14.99.
Wait, say it again.
It's a 1 cent. Regular price is $15. The sale price is $14.99. You save 1 cent.
Well, thank you, Tackle Warehouse, for providing such an amazing discount.
Yeah. So JP, the one thing I have been doing is I've been putting like a tungsten nail weight in my Birkin swimmer to get it to. It makes it much more fishable at a little higher speed.
Dude,
that's what
I don't know. I probably told you, but I was fishing that Birkin on Tonka. I was like, I'm gonna run Tonka bank with this thing just for fun, and that thing was porpoising and like right up on, like it was basically a wake bait. And I was like, this thing is so.
Yeah, it rides really high and slow. So, but if you put just even like a 3/16 or like a 1/8 ounce nail weight in there, that thing will like.
Yeah, it definitely is a very, very high.
The other thing I did when I was fishing over MEA up north on my mag draft, I just like took a little bobber stop and just put like an 1/8 ounce or 16th ounce bullet tungsten in front of the nose.
Oh.
And that made that thing. So you could probably do the same thing with the Birkin. You could probably just peg like a 1/8 ounce bullet weight in front of it.
Yeah.
This question is clearly for you and not for me.
Okay, so yeah, the bottom contact. Okay, so you're comparing it to a bunch of NRXs and a Conquest. So I would say the big difference between the bottom contact 2 and all these other rods you listed is that the bottom contact 2 fishes, it feels smaller than a 7.5. It fishes smaller, and you can just do so many other techniques with it. Like you could throw a spinnerbait on it, you can throw a Carolina rig on it, you can flip with it. Like it's just like a really great versatile rod, and it's stupid sensitive and really, really balanced well. But like all those other rods you listed are really good at other stuff as well. But like really, I mean, when you get into that, like the high end stuff with like NRXs and Megabass P5s and Steezes, they're all really good. Like, you know, it's like, which steak do you like better? The Wagyu, porterhouse, or
like,
the Wagyu ribeye?
You like T-bone or ribeye? Yes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's all different kinds of really delicious steak.
Do you like lobster or shrimp? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. When you get into that high-end bougie stuff, it's like they're all pretty good. So it's like it's hard to kind of split hairs and nitpick about, one versus the other. But I will say the Steez bottom contact 2 is one of the, it's one of the best rods I've ever owned, and I'm never not going to have one for the foreseeable future. It's a freaking sweet rod.
Yeah. I think most people that are here have probably subscribed, but subscribe. That way you won't miss the when we do the unboxings in a couple weeks, when we give them away.
Yeah, we should probably wrap up and tell people to come back in a couple weeks when we do our blind unboxings.
But otherwise, I think if you came in late, we've done a lot of nerdy gear stuff tonight. So I think it's worth listening to, if you got to drive tomorrow and, you put your headphones in, or you don't got to listen to whatever the kids are, if the wife's got a crime podcast and you don't want to listen to it, you can probably listen to this tomorrow, or,
there you go.
or if you're working out or walking the dogs. Like, so yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
Fun as always. Hanging out, talking gear, showing off baits.
yeah. You had cooler stuff to show off than I did tonight.
No, Brian promises to have cooler stuff to talk about. Props for prepared for next time.
I agree. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I actually the boxes I sent to you, I made one box that's stuff that I used all year this year, and I caught a bunch of fish on, and then the other box is like just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, so I just to kind of tease it ahead now, I built a power box
Ooh,
and a finesse
okay.
box.
I like that. I should have. That's a good idea. I should have done the same thing.
And actually, there was one bait that I snuck in there that I guess I'll kind of like. I'll just maybe show this off quick because I.
Ooh, a teaser. Yeah, I made one box of just I kind of look back at all the stuff I caught fish on all year, and I like what were my favorite things to actually use and like I had a success with. I made one box that was all that, and then I did another box where it was like stuff that I want to try that looks kind of cool that I think people might like. So I kind of did.
So for the people that are in the weeds and stayed for 2 hours, I'll
dude,
show
there's
them
so
one
many
bait.
people here. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's so. There was one color Nessie in stock.
Ooh, I didn't even think about
There's
the
a
Nessie.
Nessie in the power box.
The drama, the bait that caused all the drama at ICAST for the copycat.
Yeah.
Which color? Oh, and it's
the green pumpkin, 9-inch green pumpkin.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting because I haven't actually seen one of these yet, so I'll get to see one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe, unless they just USPS loses your box, but
nah, it'll come. I have faith. Nice.
So
yeah, I didn't even think about. I kind of ignore swim baits for the most part for the boxes because of the price point because it kind of eats up a lot of the budget because we tried.
These are only like $12 with using the codes. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, no,
I actually feel like I scoured for like, and I grabbed a couple bargain bin things. And this is an interesting thing.
I went through the bargain bin and see if I wanted to.
I don't know if you noticed this or not, but some of the bargain bins, the code stacked.
What? I didn't try that.
Well, you may not have noticed, but some of these things in the bargain bin, the code is stacked.
Nice.
So it took an extra 15% off on some of this stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and make another pass because that sounds like a good deal. Well, there's a lot of good.
Now, wasn't everything, but some of the things stacked.
Like the Ned Bomb is a decent bait. There's Lose. Does it stack with the Lose reels that are on sale?
I didn't try that. I don't think it normally works on Lose, so I doubt it would stack with the Lose.
That's a good point.
I have always wanted to try a Lose, so
I've had a bunch of Lose. Like that reel right there is a really sweet reel for. I mean, a full magnesium reel for under $300 is pretty good. Like it's really light. I'm a fan of the Hyper Mags. Those are pretty nice. I'm excited for Thanksgiving tomorrow. No working, and I'm gonna watch football and hang out with my brother and my parents.
Yeah, we're gonna have dinner. I'm gonna cook a turkey in the morning. Then we're going to my mother-in-law's house, and then my daughter and I are driving to Grand Forks for a hockey tournament.
Wait, you're hitting the road for a hockey tournament tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Fun. How long of a drive is it from here to Grand Forks? I don't even know.
5 hours, 4 hours. I don't know. Like,
and you're doing that solo?
Well, with my 13-year-old.
I know, but you are such a good dad. Look at you. Driving 5 hours to take your daughter to a hockey tournament and letting everyone else stay home. You're that's dad of the year stuff right there. Nice.
But I did see that the TBF championship was Sam Rayburn. So there's a few people like Waze, who's often in the chat. He's fishing as a co from Iowa. But yeah, that's cool that Sam Rayburn is where the TBF championship is. So
you're probably gonna fish that, right? You usually get to the TBFs.
No, I didn't make the.
You did not
make the. I've not made the nationals yet in TBF. I've made it 3 times in Bass Nation, but not.
I was thinking Bass Nation, so they're totally different. So TBF and Bass Nation are separate entities.
Yes.
See, I don't know. I don't fish either of them, so I'm
surprised you didn't wear your Iowa hoodie tonight.
Dude, I didn't wear it because this. I was thinking about it. I actually have it. There's a reason I didn't wear it though. It's because this office gets really hot, and like my son was in here playing video games with the window shut, and it was like pretty warm in here. So I was gonna sweat if I was wearing that. I will wear it the next one. I don't know.
Hopefully, she's still talking to me by then. So, fine.
I will.
Who am I kidding?
I'll wear the swagged out Daiwa stuff with our unboxing stream. It's too hot in here for a hoodie. For some reason, this specific room in my house like heats hotter than the other rooms because I don't know if it's smaller or the whatever. I don't know. For some reason, this particular room is always like 5 degrees hotter than everywhere else in the house.
I've heard. So I guess one thing I like over here, I guess people are saying that like rods are harder to get. Like, has Omnia changed the rules on rods?
Yeah, I've heard rumors that like the margins on rods are basically being protected because of the shipping. So like shipping costs for rods and rod tubes have gone way up. And so if they start discounting rods and then do like free shipping, they're just getting hammered on any profit in rods right now. So like I would say getting online deals on rods is becoming harder because of the cost to ship. But that also opens up opportunities for you to go down to your local tackle shop and try and get a deal on a rod you can walk out of the store with. So, you know what I mean? So that's like, if you really want to buy a bunch of rods or buy some bougie rods, if you're really worried about saving a few bucks, you might want to take a trip down to your local tackle shop that has them on the rack, because you might be able to get a better deal than online at the moment. It's just because of the shipping.
Yeah, but also like I would same advice, right? So I guess test my code. I've already used my code this month on Omnia, this one right here, OMHB 23 November. See if it'll apply the discount on Omnia. That'll save 15%. Then you could also do the gift cards, right? Right now they're doing $50 gift card or $60 gift cards for $50. Yeah. So if you buy
4 of them, you get $40.
4 of those, right? And then you add the discount, you're going to save like 25-30% on an ecstasy. So
I've heard multiple people say if you're going to buy bougie stuff, like stuff that's multiple hundreds of dollars, just load up on the gift cards when they do the gift card sale, and then, like you said, stack it up, and then you'll get a good deal. That's the way to go. But yeah, buying rods online right now is it's tough.
But I think it might be easier on the, obviously, like a $500 rod. It's a little easier to eat a shipping.
It's true.
Fee than on a $120 Fury or whatever. So. Like,
yeah, I know you would think so, but expensive shipping stuff that's heavy or long tubes is like, it's shipping prices are just bonkers right now. Oh, you know this. You're in the logistics game. It's like, everything's expensive to ship right now in mail.
Yeah. And if you guys want the pinned link, if you want to find any of those deals, that'd be help me. If you go through those links, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks again, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.
As always, here to help you guys catch more big bass and suck less.
We'll see you in a couple
Thanksgiving, everybody. Safe travels, and we'll probably see you next week.